Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault. And you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not
Your grand jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy. The dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican, praise verbis Latin.
Is that correct?
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
That's literally not true.
Oh, for crumb's sake.
Good morning. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Podcast Thursday coming to you this morning. We'll be going there tonight. Welcome. Hope you join us. My camera's just a teensy bit low. Is that better? Just force it up a little bit. That's better. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Especially good morning to look who, 80s Music Man, OG Gamer, first in chat. 80s. Congratulations. You often try to sneak through, but it never works when you're first and try to sneak through. We always get you. Congratulations, 80s. Let's see. I dedicate my internet win to Judith, one of our OG members. Mom passed away. We're talking about 80s. Thank you very much. We appreciate you spreading that message with us and letting our members pass along thoughts and prayers. Thank you for the dedication to Judith. That's thoughtful as well. But even as thoughtful as it is, we're still going to punish you. Everything IP related worldwide is your responsibility. I'm sorry, 80s. It's a rule. We have to do it. But a sweet thought there. Appreciate it. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Where in the world do we go this morning? I have not seen the judge come on the air this morning. I have not seen... If there was a verdict, did it hide somewhere? Because it didn't happen last night. They just turned off the stream. We have to do birthdays. I was forgetting something. I knew it. I have to do that.
Scratch all that. Oh, that was terrible. I apologize.
Happy birthday to Lucas. Lois, thank you very much for bringing the birthdays for us. We're going to sing to Lucas today with a birthday cake. Yay. So by we, I mean all of us, not just me. Everyone, wherever you are. If it's legal and you're able, stand up, take a deep breath, shoulders back, project your voice to the back of the room, blend your voice with your neighbor, and warm up with me if you will. La 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 la. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lucas. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lucas. Lucas, there are many wonderful days, but today is your special day. And I realize there are a million places you could be and a billion people you could have celebrated with. You chose to be right here with us. The privilege, pleasure, the honor, that the joy is ours. Hopefully you can turn that joy back to you, make your day just a little more special, or begin by helping yourself to free pancakes at Denny's, IHOP Village, and Waffle House, McDonald's, Tabby Dunlap's House, Andy's Grill, Bob Evans, and Cracker Barrel. Lucas will need a driver to get to Denny's. Yes. Lucas, how old are you, Lucas? You have to tell us now. Happy Baby Friday. I like that. I like that a lot. Susan CR gifted some memberships. Thank you very much. 5 memberships. Susan, that's very generous. Kim also came in with a gifted membership this morning. Thank you, Kim, for your generosity. And for letting someone else win. I know we were holding back. But 80s wanted it bad this morning. We got it. As always, 80s choreographer extraordinaire. Great moves, dancers. You're doing fabulous. High kicks. Jazz hands. It's great. Happy 4th birthday, Lucas. 4. I have a child with a birthday tomorrow. And let's just say that child is very excited. The child is very excited. Happy birthday, Lucas. That is awesome. Georgia fan. Thank you very much. Let me take a look at that. Well, we're waiting for the drum solo, which is coming up now. Grab your air drumsticks. Here we go. Beautiful. Thank you. Now we can celebrate and party and everything else. There's lots of things going on in the world of courts. We've got the standing Judge Clark. We've got the standing judge who's right here. Off doing stuff.
You understand your rights and options? You understand the possible penalty for retail fraud? Understanding all of that, are you pleading guilty to that charge freely and voluntarily?
Freely and
February 27, 2026, were you at the Myers on Belleville Road?
Myers.
Did you try to leave the store with merchandise that you had not paid for? Satisfied, Mr. Bowditch? So am I. You've agreed to pay restitution of $699.31. When's that going to get done?
As soon as possible.
That tells me nothing. You're making a deal here. Part of that deal is you pay $700. If you can't live up to your end of the deal, then we're not going forward with this deal.
No deal.
Are you working?
I take care of my kids.
Okay.
Was working at Myers, but not anymore.
I need money.
Okay, but she only works 20 hours a week, and she's going to school.
I can get it from her and I can get it back when I can.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 days.
Oh, grandma's money. Dude.
Oh, that's no good.
I got two healthy adults that between them are working 20 hours a week.
She said that she wants to be the one working and bringing up income because she doesn't think she can be able to take care of the kids because she has bipolar and autism.
Then she's got to get another job. 20 hours ain't enough to raise family. Grandma's going to die at some point.
Judge,
this is not a sustainable life plan.
Laying it bare
while she's going to school.
Like, I need to be given a job, be working on finding something to watch the kids up and give me a job.
Find something you can do from home.
I've done a lot of picking up babysitting because there's a lot of kids that need babysitters.
Yeah.
There may be discussion, Mr. Taylor might be.
Somebody's got to get more hours.
It's the community out. He knows a lot of towns out. Somebody needs to somebody. At least he's doing that, having a conversation. When you go downstairs to make any sort of payment arrangements, you need to find an address that a gentleman, Ayden Taylor.
You currently have nothing on your record? No misdemeanors, no felonies?
First time offender. Sounds like even his lawyer's lit into him.
Where? This.
Did I say Litton?
Van Buren Police Department on Tyler Road.
We can both move on CD.
Do it right now. It's on the way to Ipsy.
You go right there.
On your way home. Get it out of the way.
Get it
All right, on this file, I'm going to do a delayed sentence for 6 months. I'm not going to charge you any money at this point in time. I'm going to order that you do 3 days on the court work program. You pick which days you work, and I'm going to order the restitution of $699 by September 1. The other part of that is no new charges.
No new charges.
All right? Listen to me. We got lots of resources available to us in this building. I'm telling you, you guys are not going to make it. Right? You've already been fighting over money.
We will find you.
Okay? So talk to Mr. Taylor. See if he can help you. We've got lots of resources. Come back and see us before you do something that's stupid again.
Thank you, Ron.
Come back.
All right,
and
Mr. Mays, now it's your turn.
Before you do something stupid. Okay, Josh has a little trial for us out of Florida we can watch while we're waiting for.
Good morning, Ron. William Mason, Mr. Gardner.
Good morning, Mr. Gardner.
Your Honor, today was scheduled for a motion hearing on this case. The prosecutor has offered to reduce to a reckless driving. I have advised Mr. Gardner that will result in certain penalties to his driver's license. as well as the CDL, which is the critical issue in this case. There's a commercial driver's license. I've advised him of the maximum penalty, as well as the collateral consequences. Ultimately, however, this offer by the prosecution does ultimately save the CDL, even though it'll be suspended for a period of 90 days, plus the points and the costs and various other penalties the court may impose. I've gone over the advice of rights with Mr. Gardner. He's prepared to waive his rights and enter to plead guilty to the added count of reckless driving. Is that correct? Yes, sir.
Okay. So you understand the likely consequences of the charge as it's written now, and you understand the likely consequences of the charge you're getting ready to plead to. So you're doing this knowingly and voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mays, why don't you voir dire? Incident date shows May 10.
Mr. Gardner, were you operating a motor vehicle in Van Buren Township? Yes,
We're gonna bail on this.
And we have to talk about over their location? Yes, sir.
Okay, he's just doing a motor vehicle one. Josh has sent us this one. I have to do a disclaimer, Josh, because you sent us the last two as well. This one's out of Florida. Josh was like, no, don't stick this on me. This one's out of Florida. Just started this morning, a little tiny trial, and I know nothing about it other than it's right in Judge Brantley Clark's neck of the woods. I think it's like maybe even the same courthouse, even different judge, obviously, and we're gonna find out.
Yeah, Your Honor,
as we go.
That's for the limiting issue, of course, the 911 call. We can get into that.
I believe this is aggravated assault on an officer.
Is there something we need to take? What I don't want to do is have the jury leave. We have a 30-minute legal argument about the admissibility of a 911 call. Do we need to take that up now?
Your Honor, I do believe it is hearsay. I think that, if she can authenticate it for sure, it could be brought into evidence. But that would be my objection.
Okay, hearsay objection?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, no problem.
You
All right, anything else
from the state of Georgia.
If that's it, Your Honor.
All right, and I listened to the jury. Are we going to have any suppression issues? I listened to your jury selection and about whether or not the officer was trespassed or was lawfully on the property, and what you can do in response to someone. I listened to it. I didn't see any motions to suppress, and I didn't want that to be an issue in trial because that's a legal issue for me to decide whether or not an officer is lawfully on someone's presence and what someone can do in response to that.
The top right picture is a television.
We will bring that back up.
Let me mute them for a second. The top right picture is not blurry. It's a television where if any video gets played, we would get to see it, which would be awesome because there might be some body cam stuff on this one. Well, they're just finalizing the motion in limine and the judge laying down the rules saying, I don't want the jury to think there's a problem. I think...
We're actually going to start at 9 o'clock?
Let's do it.
All right, there we go. All right, perfect. Let's bring the jury in.
Let's bring the jury in. We might speed this up as well as possibly a speed trial. What do you think? Bring the jury. Let's do 1.25, see if we can live with that. Judge rocking a nice gold watch there. Who says your court fines don't go to good use? No, just kidding, just kidding. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
I want to thank you and please be seated.
Kurt your smiles.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the state of Florida versus David Gatewood. Is the state ready to proceed?
Trial TV Live is covering
present with counsel, and is Mr. Gatewood ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and raise your right hand as the clerk administers your oath?
Well, he swears them in. We're not covering it because of the children factor. That's a really tough one for this community. Oath's done. They're all sworn in.
You have been selected and now sworn to try the case of State of Florida versus David Gatewood. Mr. Gatewood.
We're going to fast forward through the instructions. He's still giving instructions. Aggravated assault on a police officer. That's the charge.
On behalf of the state, Ms. Ford.
There we go. Trial TV Live is where I'd recommend to watch it.
My name is Megan Ford, and I represent the state of Florida. On October 21st, 2024, probation officer Tammy Marshall was doing her job. She was trying to locate a probationer for a home visit. This would be the first home visit for this particular probationer. She hadn't been to his residence before. And you're going to hear something right away in this case, and I want to tell you about it now because it is not in dispute. She went to the wrong house. I'm going to say that again because it's very important that you know that this probation officer was supposed to go to a different location and she accidentally went to the wrong house. She's going to tell you that. She's going to tell you it was a mistake. And she's going to tell you she was looking for someone else and accidentally knocked at the defendant's home instead. She was on the right street, but the wrong house, and it was dark. But this is not a case about whether or not she made a mistake about the address. This is a case about what happened after the mistake. The evidence will show that Officer Marshall identifies herself as a probation officer, raised her hands, and then explained why she was there. The defendant pointed a firearm at her, cocked it, cursed at her, and kept it aimed on her while he was ordering her off his property. She feared she was about to be shot. You'll hear the 911 call she made moments later. You'll hear how shaken she was. And you'll hear that she reported exactly what had just happened before she had an opportunity to think about it step by step. Deputy Jeremy Anderson and Deputy Ayden Tate from Washington County Sheriff's Office met her at the Tom Thumb in Wausau, where they observed a very shaken probation officer. They took pictures of her, and they will tell you how they proceeded with the investigation. Tammy Marshall made a mistake, but this defendant, David Gatewood, made a choice. And at the end of this trial, the evidence will prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. And we will ask you to return the only verdict the evidence would support, which is guilty.
Wow.
All
right.
Interesting set of
Take
facts.
call its first witness.
At this time, the state would call Tammy Marshall.
Probation officer knocks on the wrong door. Guy opens the door with the gun, says, "Get off my property." She calls the police, and here we are with aggravated assault on an officer. Do you have the right to answer the door with a gun drawn? I think that might have to be a threat. Red, you can just put whatever the name is, and we'll just believe you.
Good morning, ma'am. Are you Miss Tammy Marshall? Yes. If you'll take the witness stand, please.
I might have to move. Judge, can I be up there with you?
Yes, ma'am. If you remain standing and raise your right hand, the clerk will administer your oath.
You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes, I do.
All right, thank you, ma'am. If you'll please have a seat. Adjust the microphone so that we can hear you clearly. The lawyers will have questions for you, beginning with Ms. Ford.
We're good. We can share this spot, ma'am. That's all right.
The microphone set. Yeah.
Microphone check.
Can you state your name for the jury? State your name for the jury.
Tammy Marshall.
Okay, and where do you live?
I live in Ashford, Alabama.
And on October 21st, 2024, were you employed as a probation officer?
Yes, I was.
How long had you been a probation officer at that time?
2 years.
And what were your duties as a probation officer?
What we would normally do is, once the probationer go to court, he gets his assignment. What I was doing at the time of being a probation officer, I went through all of the guidelines that the judge wanted him to do, for as rehab, the money you have to pay. I would have to actually go out into the field to check on him to make sure that he's at that location at the time that he's supposed to be there, and make sure he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. That's whether if I can go to his house, I can go to his job, anywhere that I need to go to find him and to keep an eye on him and assure that he's abiding by the rules and regulation of his orders.
So she babysits grown-ups.
And do you do that for every probationer that you have?
Every one of them.
And you told us a little bit about home visits. What is the purpose of a home visit?
A home visit is when you walk in, you're assuring that that person lives at that home. When they first come in the office from court, they give you an address. So you have a certain amount of time to actually go out and see them. Sometimes you have a week, Sometimes you have a month. It depends on what level that they're in. Once you go through that home visit, you're sure that they're there. Make sure, depending on whatever they're on probation for, drugs, you do a simple field check, which is a walkthrough, and you don't touch anything. You just walk in and ensure that no drugs are there and make sure everything is in compliance with the rules and regulation what the judge has given them.
When do you normally conduct, what time of day do you normally conduct?
Anytime.
Anytime. I want to take you back to October 21st, 2024. Were you planning on conducting home visits that day?
Yes, I did. I was late.
What time did you set off to do some home visits?
It was around 8:30 that night because I had approximately 10 other people that I had seen before him. He was my last one.
Okay, so when did you start the home visits that evening?
I started around 5.
Okay. So, and you went to how many probation officers?
10.
10. Did you have any issues at those 10 houses?
Say one more time, please.
Did you have any issues at those 10 houses?
No, none whatsoever.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the last probationer you were supposed to see. Had you ever been to that probationer's house?
No, I hadn't.
Okay. Where did you believe that probationer was to live?
He's supposed to live on Salem Drive.
And where would you have gotten that address from?
Whenever he gave it to us, whenever they come in to check in with you, they give you the address that they live, that they're supposed to live.
And so you had never been to this particular probationer?
No, I have not. I had never been to his home.
So when you were going to the Salem Drive address, how did you know to get there?
GPS.
Okay. And when you got there, did you notice any construction or anything in the area?
Yes.
Okay. What area was it in?
It was over by, oh Lord, they were doing the construction of that main highway.
Would that be Highway 77?
Yes, ma'am. They were doing construction all back there in Warsaw, in the Warsaw area. They were doing construction, and what it would do was it would throw your GPS off. It would just throw your GPS off, and you would have to.
Basically,
is there
speculating about the GPS, what the problem was? Unless there's some scientific evidence or something like that, I don't think she can justify.
She's speculating.
What's causing her GPS?
She can just testify if her GPS was thrown off, but not the cause. Yes, sir.
So you used your GPS to attempt to find the Salem address, is that correct?
Yes.
And was that address in Washington County?
Yes, it was.
And were you concerned the GPS was not working that evening?
Yes, it had been acting up all that day.
And was it because of the construction?
Yes, it was.
You can't.
All right, let's talk a little bit more. So you attempt to go to the Salem address. Did you attempt to go to David Gatewood's home that night?
I didn't know. I have no idea who David Gatewood was.
So you weren't investigating him?
No, I was not.
Was not a probationer?
No.
Do you remember who you were actually trying to find?
I was, I cannot remember his name at this point right here. Okay.
And did you tell the dispatcher on 911 who you were attempting to look for?
Yes, I did.
So you eventually find the address you think is correct. Is that correct?
Right. Yes.
All right. What do you do when you go to the address?
That night when I got to his address? Okay. I pulled up. I was driving a F-150. I pulled up.
As one does.
And his home has a little garage. So I got out my vehicle and I went on the side area because I seen a little carport and a car sitting up under there. And right there to the left, there's a door. I went and I knocked at that door and I announced who I was, Florida Probation. I knocked 3 times. I didn't knock at the door like I was trying to tear it down, a normal knock. No one came to the door. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to try again later. So as I was getting ready to walk away from that area, I seen a shadow in the front part of the house. Like someone was in the house. I said, oh, someone's here. So I went round to the front door and I knocked at the door again. There was a doorbell, and I rung it, but most people, sometimes those doorbells don't work. So I knocked at the door again. I announced who I was again, Florida Probation. No one came to the door. And then eventually I heard somebody say, "Here I am."
And so when you heard somebody say, "Here I am," where were you standing?
I was still in front of the door.
And where did you hear the sound of "Here I am"?
To the right of me.
Okay, so what did you do next?
I turned, I said, "Okay, here I come." When I got there, he had a gun.
How far away from him was you? How far away were you from him?
Like, I'm here and maybe right there to the corner of this right there.
Okay, so he's got a gun. Where is the gun pointed?
Directly at my face.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am.
Was it pointed down?
No, it was pointed straight ahead.
Okay, so what happens next?
I said, "Whoa." I said, "Sir, whoa. You don't have to do that." I said, "My name is Officer Marshall. I work for Florida Probation. You can put the gun down. I'm looking for my probationer." He said, "Well, your probationer don't live here." I said, "Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You can still put the gun down. It's unnecessary. I don't even have a weapon." I said, "All I did, I came here to look for my probationer." And he said, "Get the F off of my premises. You don't have no business being here." I said, "Sir, look, okay, no problem." I said, "But you can still put the gun down." I said, "Look, here's my badge." I said, "Look, here's my badge. I'm not trying to cause you no problems or whatever. I came here looking for my probationer. I made a mistake and I came to the wrong house, and I backed back, and I'm still continually watching him to assure that he's not going to pull a trigger." And then he cocked the weapon. When he cocked the weapon.
How far back did you make it to your car before he cocked the weapon?
About whenever I met him and I was walking back, that's when he drew it and he cocked it. And I'm backing back. I'm continually backing back. I said, "You do not have to do that. You do not have to. You can put the weapon down." "Sir, I do not have a weapon." I kept telling him over and over and over, "Sir, I do not have a weapon."
And why did you
Why
tell
didn't
him
she
that?
just leave?
Because I didn't want him to kill me. Because the man was going to kill me. That's where I feared. I take that back. I feared that he was going to kill me.
So after he cocks the gun, what do you do next?
He told me get the F off his premises. And that's what I did.
Okay. And did you walk forward, backwards?
Backwards. I walked backwards all the way to the truck.
Okay. So do you get inside the truck?
Yes, I got inside the truck and I backed out of his driveway.
And where do you go from there?
I went to Wausau.
Okay. What do you do in the truck while you are driving to Wausau?
I called my supervisor.
Okay. And what does the supervisor tell you to do?
He told me to go to Wausau and stop at the gas station there and make a report. Call the sheriff's department and make a report.
Okay. So did you call 911?
Yes, I did.
And what state were you in at the time you had called 911?
I was in Wausau.
Okay, but physically, how were you behaving?
How was what?
How were you feeling when you called 911?
Scared. I was terrified. I was shaking. I couldn't hardly talk. I was crying.
How many minutes had passed from the time you got into that car and that you called 911?
Directly after I called my supervisor. I would say maybe 3 at the moment, because all he told me was whenever I called him and I let him know what had happened, he said, "Well, Marshall, all I need you to do right now is calm down, get to the service station in Wausau and call the sheriff's department." And that's exactly what I did.
Have you listened to a copy of your 911 call?
No, I haven't.
Did you hear the 911 call being played?
Yes.
Okay. Does it fairly and accurately depict what you said that evening?
Yes.
At this time, the state would move in states 1.
You may.
All right. Well, they approach. I'm trying to look up the law, self-defense and property in Florida. I think it's Florida statute 776.031. Property owner. This is justifiable use of force, use or threatened use of force in defense of property. A person is justified in using or threatening to use force except deadly force against another when and to the extent that the person reasonably believes that such conduct is necessary to prevent or terminate the other's trespass on or other torturous criminal interference with either real property or other than a dwelling or personal property lawfully in his or her possession or in possession of another. Let's see. Those who have a duty to protect. A person who uses or threatens to use force in accordance with the subsection does not have a duty to retreat before using or threatening to use such force. A person is justified in using or threatening to use deadly force only if he or she reasonably believes that such conduct is necessary to prevent the imminent commission of a forcible felony. A person who uses or threatens to use deadly force in accordance with this subsection does not have a duty to retreat and has the right to stand his or her ground if the person using or threatening to use deadly force is not engaged in a criminal activity and is in a place where he or she has a right to be. A person who uses, Okay, so this is going to be an open and shut case, I think, unless we're going to have to hear from the defendant. There's no way he's not testifying, and he's going to have to say that something different happens than what this parole officer said happened.
At this time, the state removing states number 1.
States number 1 will be admitted over objection.
Here we
You
go.
may
We get to
publish,
see it.
and I'm also
Or
going
hear.
to find that there is no time for reflective thought.
You can't stop and think about. No, there's no time for reflective thought. Means this is an excited utterance, basically. This is audio only. 911 call. But we get to see the audio. That's nice. Yeah. If everything happened the way this witness says, for some reason we won't hear the call. You're telling me they've got the TV wired up to watch this? But they haven't fixed the audio? She's like, yes, 911. My name is witness Tammy Marshall, probation officer. I just tried to show up at a probationer's house, and I got the wrong house. And the man answered the door, and he pointed the gun at me. I'd like to report a crime. I thought he was going to shoot me. Something to that effect. She has protection as a parole officer in the performance of her duties, even if she makes a mistake. If she believes she was doing it properly, I believe she has some protection. Now, if she knew that it was the wrong house and went there anyway, she had no protection. I'm curious if they call other probationers that this woman oversees, and if she actually, every time she beats on the door, she's like, "You answer this door right now. I'm coming in there and dragging your butt back to prison." If she does that and had made some sort of threat like that, maybe the resident inside did feel like someone was about to commit a felony, posing as a parole officer. New case, yeah, it's happening right now. Just a quick little one while we wait for the 752nd District Court with Judge Raquel West to get a verdict. Vacuuming is going on upstairs. Sorry. Or maybe sawzalling. I can't tell. If she was walking backwards, why did he activate? Because why did he cock the pew? Yeah, you can't say that word. I don't know, but I'm feeling quite strongly the witness is going to testify and he's going to tell a different story about how this went down. If he felt that she was like poking around his house trying to get in or steal something, he's got to have a different idea, a reasonable idea. This is important. It has to be reasonable that a felony was about to be committed. Because if he thought someone was trying to steal his car, he could use deadly force. Well, not deadly force.
Was the probationer you meant to see that night Kenneth Larson?
Yes.
Did you ever end up seeing Kenneth Larson?
No.
So you told the 911 operator about what occurred, is that correct?
Yes.
So after you got off the phone with her, where did you go?
I got my things. I went to the office. I called my supervisor back again.
After you got off of the 911 call?
Yes. After I talked to the detectives, the sheriff department.
Where did you meet them at? Where did you meet the sheriff's officers?
Right there at Tom Thumb.
At Tom Thumb. Okay,
Yes.
So, and you just waited for them? Is that what
Yes, I did.
In that 911 call, we hear many different addresses. Were you sure of what address you had gone to?
At the time, I gave them the one that I had written down on the paper. There's a sheet of paper that we normally take with us to go to the different addresses that we need to go to. And at that point, I was so nervous and shook up. I was just out of it because I was shaking. I was shaking like a leaf on a tree. And I gave her the address that I had on that piece of paper.
So, and I want to take you to Wausau. So you're in Wausau. Do you wait for the officers?
2 officers.
Okay.
Yes.
Officers. And do you tell the officers what occurred?
Yes.
Do the officers take photographs of you?
Yes, they did.
And why did they take photographs of you?
To show that I was in uniform.
Have you seen those photographs of you?
Yes, I have.
And do they fairly and accurately depict how you looked that evening?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, the state would move in states number 2.
Any objection?
No objection.
Exhibit 2 will be received. You may publish.
See how she looks here. Is this like a polo shirt with a embroidered badge? Is she in like a full Class B? Okay, so khakis and polo
So
shirt.
you've got on tan pants, is that correct?
Yes.
And what type of shirt is that?
That's a probation shirt with the medallion on this.
And what is hanging from your neck?
That's my badge.
Is that the same badge you show Mr. Gatewood at his house?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and can you show me how you showed it to him? You lift it up?
I lift it up and I showed him that it was a badge.
So officers take photographs of you and they take your statement. Did you tell the officers that you were in fear?
That I was.
That you were in fear?
Yes.
And why were you in fear?
I just had a gun drawn in my face and cocked.
Let's talk a little bit about the gun. What did the gun look like?
It was black with a silver handle.
Okay. And did you get a good look at it?
I'm sorry, it was silver with it was.
What was it? This is important.
It was a black pistol. Okay. Whenever I seen it that night, I recall it. As of now, a year and a half later, I cannot remember because I tried to exit out my mind. But it was a pistol. I'm not crazy. I know what a pistol looks like.
Very well. Did the officers eventually send you a photograph of a weapon?
Yes, they did.
And did you identify it as the weapon?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And that would have been 2 years ago?
Yes.
I think defense should take her on voir dire before she gets shown a picture here.
Did you get a good look at the person that was pointing the gun at you?
Yes.
And do you see him here today in the courtroom?
Yes, he is.
What color shirt is he wearing?
He's wearing a grayish shirt.
Your Honor, if the record can reflect that the witness was identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
Did all of this occur in Washington County?
Yes, it did.
No further questions.
Mr. Atkinson?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may please support.
Yes, sir.
Counsel.
Describe the gun to me.
Now, ma'am, I know that you took a lengthy time to discuss what probation and parole does, but you agree, ma'am, that your main job is to keep track of criminals, right?
Right.
Okay. And you do that because you want to protect the safety of the citizens.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, if a defendant is on probation in a county outside of Washington County, but they decide to move, what would be the process of them trying to change their address?
The first thing they would have to do is get in touch with us and assure that we got a location. We go by and we verify that's where he's moving. Make sure, depending on whatever he's on probation for, assure that He's not lying about it. We questioned the people who he's planning on staying with. His formalities are showing that that's where he is going to be staying.
Okay, now earlier you said that you have different times on when you need to check on probationers once they get on probation.
Yes.
If they do a transfer of their probation, does that accelerate the time that you want to go check on them?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now, we just heard your 911 phone call, okay? And you said earlier that you were driving a Ford F-150?
Yes, it was a gray truck. It was a gray truck.
That 911 call, you said you were driving a Chevy Silverado.
A truck is a truck, sir.
Okay, so you don't know what you're driving right now?
I cannot remember. That was a year ago.
Okay.
That was over a year ago.
Okay, this is the problem.
All right. Now, you told the dispatcher that you were looking for the offender, Mr. Kenneth Larson, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Prior to October 21st, 2024, when did you meet with Kenneth Larson?
He was just, he belonged to another probation officer. She gave him to me because he moved in my area. He had just got out of court, and the address that he was staying was in her area, but he moved to my area. So that's how I got him. I seen him one time, and that was that one time that he came from court.
Okay.
And he came to my office and he gave me an address that he lived.
Now, ma'am, I want you to listen to my question very carefully, okay?
Okay.
When did you meet with Kenneth Larson? Not how you got him. When did you meet with him?
The day he came from court.
Which was which day?
About, I say maybe a week before this happened.
A week before this happened?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now, you said earlier Mr. Larson's probation was not based out of Washington County, correct?
I don't know. I can't even remember.
Okay, so he didn't start in your jurisdiction?
Say it one more time.
He didn't start in your jurisdiction, correct?
Washington County was my district.
Okay.
That's where all of my probationers were.
Okay.
That's where all of them live.
Okay. Did you just tell the court and the jurors that Mr. Larson, you had to meet with him because he started with another probation officer? You recall?
Just like I told you. I'm telling you what I recall. He started with her, but then he moved into the area of Washington County. That's my understanding of where he came from. And that's why I ended up with him.
So he had to transfer.
And he went to court that day?
Not really a transfer, I guess, because he was with her. He was with her at the time. Okay. And he moved. It wasn't a transfer because he still was in the Washington County area, but he moved in my area. It wasn't a transfer. It wasn't like he moved from another state or he moved from somewhere, say, for instance, one of the other areas down south or over here. What's the name of the area I'm trying to say? Say, for instance, right up here above Chipley, Bonifay. It wasn't like he moved. It's like he moved from Bonifay. He just moved in the area. It wasn't a transfer.
Okay. What was his address in Bonifay?
I don't know.
Okay. And so when you change counties, you don't actually have to transfer probation?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall what address Mr. Larson was using whenever he was put on probation?
When I got him, whenever I got him, or whenever she had him?
When he was put on probation, not when you got him, when he was originally put on probation.
No, I don't recall that.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to show you some documents here. May I approach you on?
You may.
Okay.
She might be confused. She says he came straight from court to my office, but she got him from a transfer from another probation officer.
I believe it is right here.
Okay. Tiger Trail. Okay.
And right there.
Panama City.
Okay. So then you agree that Mr. Larson never was living in Bonifay.
I didn't say he lived in Bonifay. I said it was just like he was in Bonifay. Like I told you, I received him about approximately a week before the situation happened with me.
Okay.
And Mr. Gatewood.
Did you?
I don't recall where he came from. All I recall is I received him. I had to take care of him.
Okay. Prior to October 21st, 2024, did you ever verify any of the addresses that Mr. Larson was living at?
No.
Okay. And you're aware, man, let me ask you this. Were you aware the last time that probation and parole had made contact with Mr. Larson prior to his quote unquote transfer or whatever you would call it?
Yes. They what they normally do is call to make sure that he's here. That's it.
Okay. That's my question. I said, do you know when the last time probation and parole in Bay County had made contact with Mr. Larson?
No.
Okay. Would it surprise you that it was September 23rd, 2024?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay. And I just showed you that the clerk of court had actually tried to reach out to Mr. Larson. Do you remember me showing you that? And I can
You just showed it to me.
All right. And may I approach you?
You may.
Okay. Now you said you met with him a week before this had occurred.
It was like a few days before, and I had to go out to see him. It was about a week, so I said a few days.
Okay.
I had to go out.
Now, do you see the date on that right there, ma'am?
I told 10. I said a few days.
Okay. So if Mr. Larson had previously transferred his probation to Bay County, or I'm sorry, from Bay County to Washington County, approximately a week prior, whenever you talked to him, why is Bay County trying to reach out to him in Bay County?
Sustain.
Now, and even Washington County had a different address for him than on Salem Drive. Do you agree with that?
Then what?
Then on Salem Drive, I just showed you 4985 Tiger Trail. Do you recall seeing that in the paperwork?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
I saw what you said.
Did you ever do anything to verify that address prior to October 21st, 2024?
No, I did not.
Okay. And you understand that the paperwork that I just showed you, that's a matter of public record, right?
Okay.
Anybody can look it up. Would you agree with that?
I agree.
Okay. But you didn't take the necessary steps before you went out there on October 21st, 2024 to even look on public record to verify whether or not this is an accurate address.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I wanted to dig into.
Do you know if Mr. Larson had responded at that point in time?
Action relevancy.
Counsel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on up.
I want the defense. First of all, the prosecutor is looks nervous. The witness is on edge and very defensive, and the defense is doing a great job at riling her up and getting her to admit just a couple key facts that she seems sure of now that she's not sure of, that she originally testified that she was sure of and then changed the model of vehicle. That's a big one. She's a truck's a truck. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And the address thing, and the whole transfer, we're hearing he had to come to my office straight from court. Did he go to court to transfer his address? Or was that something that was worked out? Because she then says that, no, he was transferred to me from this other person who just gave him to me because it was in my area. Why then, if there was a transfer, where was court involved in this? And she said in some points that it was transferred, so she had to go out and see him. Another point, she said that he came to her. I'm seeing all sorts of holes, and it could be that this woman just does so much probationary work with probationers that she's just mixing up her memory. But this is a big deal. She's just getting flustered. It's possible. But if you've got some guys on the jury, calling a Chevy a Ford just might cross the line into hearsay, from hearsay to heresy. So it's... Oh. Her nerves are getting the best of her. Yeah, when she says it was a black gun with a silver handle. No, it was a silver. Nope, it was a black pistol. I know what a pistol looks like. Yeah. Okay, let's hear it. Where are we going with this? Relevancy? Did defense win?
Now, man, you told
Nope.
dispatch that there was no numbers on the mailbox or the house.
I could not see him. No, I did not see him.
Okay.
I did not see him.
Now, you agree that there are house numbers and mailbox numbers at Mr. Gatewood's house, correct?
I don't agree.
You don't agree? Okay.
I don't, like I said, I don't recall at that time. I don't remember seeing them.
Okay.
And that's all I can say.
Okay.
So here we have a picture taken by the officers that evening of the massive
Is this
letters.
the house of the door that you knocked on?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Are there any numbers on the door?
Yes, they are.
So you agree there are numbers on
Now, I do agree.
Now, and this is for identification purposes, so defendants exhibit 1, defendants exhibit 2.
Yes, sir.
I see him.
Okay, and you see there's numbers on the mailbox?
Yes.
Okay, so even though you didn't see them,
I did not.
they are there.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
She might have blown this case for the
And
state.
so when you initially had talked to dispatch, you told them it was 1640 Salem Drive.
Yes, that's what I said, and that's what I heard I said.
And you said 1645 Salem Drive.
That's what I heard myself say.
Okay, and then you changed it to 1745, correct?
That's whenever I looked at the paper.
The paperwork being what you keep track of, your supervisor got to sign off on it.
Exactly. And I looked at the paper. That's why I said that's what I looked at the paper.
And you're 100% sure that you got 1745 Salem Drive that you told the dispatch from the itinerary that you submitted to your supervisor.
I cannot agree to that. I know that's what I said. I cannot recall what I wrote on that paper. I do not have that paper in front of me, and so I cannot agree with that. All I know, that's what I heard myself say, and that's the only thing I can agree to.
Okay.
She's shooting herself in the foot now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have just 1 second.
Yes, sir. Take your time.
Okay, man. So you agree that you did end up changing the address to 1745 Salem Drive, correct?
I just heard myself say it.
Okay. And do you recall that you had actually given a statement on December 2nd of 2025 regarding this case?
Yes, I remember.
Okay. And do you recall me asking you whether or not, where you had gotten 1745 Salem Drive?
Like I said, yes, I remember you asking me that. Yes, I remember.
Okay. And do you recall what you had answered?
No, I do not.
Would you like me to refresh your memory?
Please, go ahead.
Okay. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
And Your Honor, may I have freedom to move?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We're going to be doing this back and forth a little bit, I think.
This is 24, lines 11 through 19. He's going to say. And you can read just yourself.
She said she got it off the mailbox.
Okay.
Now, ma'am, would you like to change your answer as to where you got that address?
Do I want to change my answer?
As to where you got that address?
And I said, like I said on that piece of paper, we get a form, look on the computer and we get the addresses of the offender. And what we do is we type it in on our sheet to go out into the field to look for them.
I'm going to show you the piece of paper that you're referring to.
Oh, okay.
So that's the correct piece of paper.
Yep.
Okay.
This is it.
Where on that piece of paper does it say 1745 Salem Drive?
It don't.
Okay. So you didn't get it from the document that you testified earlier on December 2nd that you got the address from.
I only told you what I said.
Okay. You don't know where you got the address from for 745.
Yes, I do.
It's not on this paper that you testified to, and you know it's on these addresses or on the house and on the mailbox. But you didn't see it.
Like I said, that don't even look like the paper I had that night, but okay.
This is not the paper.
I'm not sure.
Not with your signature?
Okay, well, that's it then.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't remember.
Well, let me show it to you.
And I understand you already brought it up here to me, and I looked at it.
Well, just verify this is your signature.
Okay. Yes, it's my signature.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is so bad. They need to drop the charges. I'm sorry. If this is their only witness, they need to drop the charges.
Now, you said earlier that Mr. Gatewood had met you outside of the home, correct?
He came around the corner of the house.
Okay. And do you recall Mr. Gatewood telling you, or at least from what you told dispatch, that he had scared, and I'll quote, the shit out of me? That's what Mr. Gatewood
That's what
said.
he said. He said that I scared the shit out of him.
Okay. So based on what Mr. Gatewood had said, he was frightened that night.
That's what he said.
Okay. And do you recall that you told dispatch that a man came to the door and drawed on your face?
He came around the corner of that house. I'm telling you what he did. He came around the corner of that house. When he came around the corner of that house, he had that weapon. And he had that weapon drawn.
Ma'am, I'm not asking about that. I'm asking you, do you recall that you told dispatch that he had came to the door with a pistol drawn?
That's what I heard on the 911. But I'm telling you what happened.
Okay.
Were you lying there?
Your memory
now?
at this point in time is better almost 2 years later than it was the second you made the 911 phone call.
Sir, I done had time enough to recollect this thing over and over in my brain, over and over.
Listen to what I'm asking you. Are you saying today that your recollection is better now than it was 2 years ago?
I'm not saying it's better, but I recall what happened.
Okay. And so what you told the dispatcher was inaccurate.
Objection, asked and answered.
Move on from. How many times did you tell the dispatcher that he came to the door with a pistol?
I don't recall.
Would it surprise you that you said that twice to the dispatcher?
Maybe.
Okay.
I can't recall.
Okay.
The judge knows there's a
Now,
problem.
after you had left Mr. Gatewood's home, you didn't drive immediately to Walsall, did you?
What you mean?
You didn't drive immediately to Walsall. Did you stop anywhere?
On the side of the road to call my supervisor.
How far away from Mr. Gatewood's house were you?
A few feet.
A few feet.
Yeah, I said about a little bit down. I said past maybe 3 houses because I wanted to get away from his premises. And I pulled on the side of the road. And that's whenever I called my supervisor and I told him what had happened.
So that changes.
So you were shaking like a leaf. You were so scared, but you decided that I've got to get away for a few feet.
Yeah, I got to get away because this man had a gun drawn on.
Not outside of Sunny Hills.
Where?
Not outside of the Sunny Hills subdivision. Not outside of Walsall, but just a few feet away from.
Down the street away from his home.
Okay.
That's what I did. I pulled over to the side, on the side of the road, and I called my supervisor, Alex Thompson.
Okay. Was it Alex Thompson or was it Vernon Lewis?
It was Alex Thompson because Vernon Lewis was out on vacation.
Okay. All right.
My senior supervisor is Alex Thompson, and that's who was on duty.
Okay. All right. And then you went to Walsall, to the Tom.
And then he told me to go down to Walsall to the gas station. That's Tom Thumb, and that's what I did. And that's whenever I called the sheriff department. I called 911, and they sent the lady sent the sheriff department, and that's when I made my report.
Okay. And you gave an initial statement that night.
Yes, I did.
And it was recorded.
Yes, it was.
And do you recall who you were talking to?
As far as the deputies?
Yes.
No, I do not.
Okay. Do you recall if it was Deputy Tate or Deputy Anderson?
I cannot recall.
Okay. Whoever the officer was, do you remember telling him that you made a mistake?
Yes.
And you had the wrong house?
I sure do.
And you'd already given 1740 to the dispatcher, 1640, I'm sorry. 1640 Salem Drive. You'd already given that address to the dispatcher, correct?
Yes.
1645, you'd already given that address to the dispatcher.
Okay, yes.
And then we pulled 1745 out of the ephemeral and somehow came up with that address, correct?
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm listening. Yes. That's what was on the 911 phone call.
Okay. And then do you recall the address that you had actually given the deputies that night?
No, I do not.
Okay. Would you like me to refresh your memory?
No, she doesn't.
Go ahead. Like I told you, that was over a year ago. I do not remember what address I gave them.
Every time she says it was over a year ago, I don't remember. That casts in doubt her testimony about what happens, especially when other factors are provably wrong or changed within minutes or days or weeks or months.
To yourself, 17 to 24.
Okay.
So, ma'am, do you recall what address that you had given the deputies the same night that this incident occurred?
I seen it on that paper right there. But that's
your statement.
Yes, my statement. I said I've seen it on my statement. But like I told you, for my memory as of what address I gave them at that time, no, I do not recall.
Okay. But I just refreshed your
Yes,
memory.
you just showed
Do you
it to
recall
me.
now?
Yeah, that's what's on the paper.
Okay. So you said, sure, I went to the wrong address. I went to 745. I went to the wrong address. I should have went to.
Sustain.
Okay. Yeah, I apologize. May I have 1 second?
Yes, sir.
Is today going to be the rare instance where we get a judgment of acquittal?
And isn't it correct that you had actually given the officers that you had went to 745 North Salem Drive, is that correct?
That's what it's saying as my statement. I do not recall, I do not remember. I keep telling you, I do not remember. That was over a year ago. So all I can tell you is what's on that piece of paper. That's what I said. And that's all I can tell you.
Okay. And then you told them that you were actually supposed to go to 745 North Salem Drive, right?
That's what's on the that's what's on the paper.
Your statement.
My statement. Yeah, that's what's on my statement.
All right. And I just asked you about that. You told that dispatch twice that the man came to the door with the pistol drawn, right?
When he came around the corner of that house, yes, he had a pistol drawn.
Okay.
When he came around, I did look. I keep telling you, whenever I was in the front of that house, this man came from around the side of that house.
Yeah,
Miss Marshall, just wait for the question, ma'am. Go ahead,
Okay.
Mr. Axum.
Thank you. I just asked you whether or not you told dispatch that he came to the door with the pistol drawn to your face.
Objection asked and answered.
She's answered that question.
Is that correct?
She's answered that
Yes,
question.
yes, sir. Do you recall telling dispatch that your initial knock was to the side door?
Yes.
Mr. Gatewood's house?
Yes.
Right? Not the front entry?
No.
Okay. And do you recall whether or not you told Deputy Tate or any of the deputies that after you'd knocked, no one actually came to the door?
That no what?
That nobody came to the door?
Right, from the side door, no one did. No one came to the door.
And
when I went to the front, no one came to the door.
And no one came to the door?
Nope.
Not the front door, not the side door?
Right. At that point in time, no. Initially, no. He did not come to the door.
Okay. And he never was at the door pointing a pistol at your face?
He came around the corner of the house with that pistol pointing. He had it pointed up. When he came around the side of that house, and I was in the front of that house. That's when he came with that gun pointed.
So don't you think it's fair to say that just based on your conversation with dispatch and your conversation with the deputies that night, that we really can't tell whether or not this happened at the door, if it happened in the yard? Because your story kind of flip-flop there, right?
I'm telling you what I recollect, and I'm telling you the truth as of right now. He came around the side of that house with the gun drawn.
Okay, but that's not what you said in your initial statement.
At that point in time when that happened, I was so shaken and upset and nervous. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to think whenever this man had a gun pointed at me.
Okay, and you were shaking up and nervous and laughing with the dispatcher, weren't you?
I wasn't laughing.
You weren't laughing?
No, I wasn't laughing. I was upset.
Okay, and the dispatcher wasn't laughing with you, was she?
Objection. The evidence has been proved.
Sustained as to whether dispatch was laughing.
You said you rang the doorbell on the front door?
I rang it. I don't know if it actually worked, so that's why I knocked on the door afterwards.
Okay, and you agree that based on the picture that I previously provided you, that the house numbers are almost directly above the doorbell that you rang?
Like I said, I don't recall.
Would you like me to show you the photo again?
Yeah, I remember the photo you just showed me.
Okay. So do you remember the photo?
Yes, I remember the photo, but you just brought up here.
Okay, so would you agree that the house numbers are above the doorbell that you rang?
They there.
Okay.
They there. Oh my goodness.
And the numbers above that door frame are 1745. Is that right?
Yes.
You recall telling Deputy Tate or any of the deputies that night that the door that you had went to was a brick home?
It looked at brick.
Okay. But it's actually not a brick home.
Okay.
I'm asking you, is that
I don't
true?
know.
You don't know if it's brick home or not?
Like I said, it looked stucco. It looked brick to me.
Okay, so it's not brick, it's stucco.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't recall. Like I said, it looked at brick to me.
Okay. So this happened at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so it was dark out.
Yes.
Do you think that that may have had an impact on whether or not you could see house numbers? Okay, do you think that had an impact on whether or not you could tell whether the house was brick or stucco?
Maybe, yes, sir.
Do you think that had an impact as to whether or not you could see there was numbers on the mailbox?
Maybe.
Okay.
Do you think that might have had an impact on whether or not you could see there was a gun drawn?
Now, you parked your vehicle inside of Mr. Gatewood's driveway, correct?
Going up, yes.
Okay. And that was beside his side door, right?
Yes, right in front of it.
Right in front of the side door.
Right, like this is the carport. I'm right in front of it. Not close, but right, like to keep my tail end out of the road. This is as far as I went.
Okay. So you went up by the door. You parked by the door. That's my question.
I would say somewhat.
Okay.
I just kept like I said, I pulled my truck up in to keep the tail end of the truck to get it out the street.
Okay.
I wasn't all the way up into his driveway.
Okay. How far away were you from the carport?
I would say where the jurors are.
From where your position or
from where my position is to where the jurors are.
How long is the driveway?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so you don't know if the driveway is from where you are to where the jurors are?
I do recall that it's not a real long one, it's not a real short one, but I do recall that it's a distance. I had a distance between where the carport was and the front end of my truck. So I wasn't all the way up on that door, if that's what you're asking.
So based on the picture that you're trying to paint, I want to make sure I get this right. You actually had to walk further to knock on Mr. Gatewood's side door than you would have had to walk to get to his front door to knock and ring the doorbell.
All I went around the side. It was just like where the door was on the side of the carport, on the side of the house, right around the corner to this front door.
Okay.
So it wasn't a long distance, no.
But you didn't start there. You didn't start there, right?
It was what?
You did not start at the front door.
No, I started at the side door.
Okay.
Because that's where his the vehicle was. Okay. And normally when vehicle is parked normally, whenever people's vehicle are parked up under the carport and there's a door, that's normally the entry door. And so that's why I went there and I knocked at that side door.
That's normally the entry door.
That's normally the entry door.
That's the entry door that salesman would go to.
Excuse me?
That's the entry door that salesman would go to. That's the entry door that a salesman would go to?
I said that's where normally people, wherever their car is parked, they normally enter that side door where the carport is. That's why I went to that door first and knocked at the door.
Okay. But based on you being parked at the end of the driveway, like what you're telling me, you said you would have to walk further to get to the side door than you would have to get to the front door.
Oh, okay. I did not tell you that.
Okay. Now, my next question is, would a salesman normally come to the side door or would the salesman go to the front door?
Objection.
Sustained. Now, you agree that if you initially went to the front door, you could have solved the numbers pretty easy, right?
I don't know. Okay. I cannot answer that.
Okay.
Because I don't recall, I don't know what may have happened.
Okay. All right then. So let me make sure I got this straight. So you started at the side door, you knocked, you didn't hear anything for approximately 2 minutes.
Approximately.
You go to the front door, you ring the doorbell, you knock, still no answer.
One moment. You have to answer audibly, yes or no.
Sir?
You said, I said you need to answer audibly, yes or no, because we have a court reporter taking down what you said.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You hear somebody after you get done knocking on the front door.
Yes.
Still no answer.
No answer.
You hear someone say, "Here I am."
Yes.
And that's from the side door.
Yeah. That's when he come from the side of the house. He came out that side door and we was meeting each other. He was coming down from the side entry and I was coming from the front entry. And we met each other. And that's whenever he had the gun pointed at that point in time.
And I want to ask you, man, is there a difference between pointing a gun, drawing a gun, pulling a gun? Is there a difference between those terms, or
He was pointing the gun, walking, pointing the gun.
Now, I'm asking you to define, what would you say, is there a difference between pointing a gun and pulling a gun? Can I pull a gun, have it in my hand, and not be pointing it at anybody?
He was pointing the gun.
Listen to my question, ma'am.
And boys, pulling the gun means that you're going to take it from somewhere and pull it.
So
he had the gun already out and he was pointing it.
Okay, so he did not pull the gun.
No, he was pointing it already when he came around the side of the house.
Okay. All right. And now you could have left whenever you came to the front door before you even knocked, right?
Yes.
You could have left before you even rang the doorbell, right?
Yes, but I seen the shadow.
You see the shadow?
I see the shadow of someone moving in that house.
Through the window?
Yes.
Okay. And at no point in time did you realize that you had made a mistake until after you made contact with Mr. Gatewood?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, if you make a mistake and you go to the wrong address, would you agree that you're in a place that you're not supposed to be?
Exactly.
Okay. And Mr. Gatewood even told you to get off his property from what you said, right?
Okay. He did.
Okay. And do you recall after Mr. Gatewood had told you to get off the property from your statement, what did you tell Deputy Tate you did when he said that?
I told him, okay, because remember, he got this gun pointed at me. He cocked the weapon. I'm backing back. I said, sir, you do not have to do that. That's something that you do not have to do.
What did you tell Deputy?
I don't even have my weapon.
What did you tell Deputy Tate?
I don't recall.
You don't recall, but just let me refresh your memory.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be page 4.
Julie did not get those to me. I didn't get those.
Oh, you didn't?
Mm-hmm. I got the hearing, but we weren't offered those. That's all right. I'm just short term.
I did not even have my sidearm, my weapon. Here's a copy of your witness saying something different previously.
That wasn't what happened.
Okay. So, man, my question was, do you recall what you told Deputy Tate that night? What did you tell Deputy Tate that night?
Say one more time.
What did you tell Deputy Tate the night of the incident?
Say I turned left, but I did not. He had the weapon still drawn and he cocked it. I'm walking backwards to the car. I'm making sure that he is not going to shoot me.
Okay. Now listen to my question.
Okay.
It wasn't what you have now said. It was, what did you tell Deputy Tate?
That's why I was saying that.
You didn't tell Deputy Tate that you were backing away. You told Deputy Tate.
I was backing away.
Let's not talk over one another.
I was backing away.
Okay.
Ask you a question, Mr. Axum.
Yeah, I believe that I've already got asked that. I'll move on.
Okay.
Her whole story is different. I've never seen somebody so thoroughly impeached.
Now, after Mr. Gatewood, from your statement, had told you to get off of his property, you said you backed away.
Yes, I was backing away.
You didn't immediately get off his property, though, did you?
Yes, I did.
Really?
I was still talking to him, and I was still backing away. I got in that truck, and I got in the truck, shut the door, put on my safety belt, and I reversed, and I got off of his property. I was assuring myself that he was not going to kill me. And he had that gun drawn, and he cocked it. And this was what I was doing all the way back to that truck. I was walking backward. I'm not going to turn my back on someone with a weapon. I'm not going to, That's crazy for somebody to turn their back on somebody with a weapon pointed at them.
All right, Ms. Marshall, Mr. Atkinson, what's your next question?
Your Honor, I haven't asked a question.
Yes, sir.
I would ask that to be stricken.
I'll grant the motion to strike as non-responsive, so disregard that comment. Go ahead, Mr. Atkinson.
You recall after this incident had occurred, you kept engaging in conversation with Mr. Gatewood, right?
Walking backwards.
You kept engaging with Mr. Gatewood.
Walking backwards, telling him, please don't shoot me. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I came to his home. Walking backwards.
Your Honor, I've had the same motion. I don't believe that.
I'll deny the motion. Your question was, did you continue to engage in Mr. Gatewood? And she said, yes, walking backwards.
Okay. And isn't it correct, ma'am, that you had kept engaging with Mr. Gatewood because you were trying to keep him from drawing the gun on you?
I was trying to keep him from shooting me because not drawing the gun was already drawn. Okay. He already had it pointed at me. That's drawn. He had it ready.
All right, Ms. Marshall, you've answered the question.
Ma'am, do you recall that I had asked you that question on December 2nd of 2025?
Maybe you did. I don't recall. I don't remember.
Okay, do you recall what your answer was to that question?
Do I remember the answer?
Yes.
No.
Okay, would you like me to refresh your memory?
She's going to say no here soon.
Come on. Yes.
Come on. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Josh, you've redeemed yourself.
That's the wrong word I used right there. That's the wrong word because he already had the gun already drawn at me. He already had it pointed at me. And I was trying to talk him down to keep him from pulling for him.
One moment. Did you have an opportunity to review whatever Mr. Atkinson was showing you?
Sir?
Did you have an opportunity to review what Mr. Atkinson, and did that refresh your memory as to whatever question he posed now?
That was not, I used the wrong terminology when I said drawing.
Did that refresh your memory as to your answer at the time? Just yes or no?
No.
Do you need to look at it again?
Let me look at that again.
This is, we're a few minutes behind on this one. This happens today. This is a today trial. July 23rd, 2026. We're in Florida. This is wild.
Okay.
Why were you still engaging Mr. Gatewood in conversation that night?
To keep him from killing me.
Okay, ma'am. You recall that you said you did it to keep him from drawing the gun on you.
And I told you I used the wrong terminology.
Okay, ma'am. My question is, do you recall saying on December 2nd, 2025, whether you believe that's the right terminology or not? Mm-hmm. It says here that you said...
Yes, that's what's on that paper. Yes, that's my statement.
One moment. Ask your question, Mr. Atkinson.
You did it to keep him from drawing the gun on you.
That wasn't what happened, though. Okay. That was the wrong terminology.
All right.
That was the wrong terminology.
You have to do that. Were you lying then?
You used the wrong language.
Were you lying now?
That was not. He already had the gun drawn. He had already cocked it. I'm trying to talk to him to keep him from killing me.
But you agree that on December 2nd, you did it to keep him from drawing the gun on you?
No, to keep him from killing me.
Okay.
Because he already had it drawn.
Listen to my question, man. You didn't say that.
And I'm still telling you, he had.
Your call will be disconnected.
Why? Why? No! No! It ended. I kid you not. It ended. Let's see if it comes back here. Just one second. Somebody. Josh! Josh! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now we need to know how this one ends. Now we've got 2 verdict watches. There's a new feed up. Hang on. Whoa. What's the new feed? Let's go back. Replay. Go back up. Down. Go to the courts. Go to channel. New feed. Hang on. 6.
Ms. Ford?
As to the first count, the case law we're looking at is a violation of Fourth Amendment rights. And I'm not sure how Ms. Marshall either searched or seized anything from the defendant in this case. She didn't go inside the home. She didn't look around. She knocked on the door, and it would be essentially the same as a knock and talk that law enforcement do. We also heard from the actual law enforcement in this case, and they said that they used the side door to communicate with the defendant as well. So they would have also then, I guess, violated his Fourth Amendment rights by using the side door. But when you look at the case law, there is the good faith exception. And there's also standard use of, when you look at a home, you look and you determine, what door is more likely used. And by both people's testimony, this was the closest door to the driveway, and it made the most sense that they would knock on that door. And that was actually the door that Mr. Gatewood came out of. So the reasonable use of the house and using that door, I think, applies there. As to the second count about whether or not he knew he was a law enforcement or she was a probation officer, he came out and told the officer that she didn't announce it. So he knew that was the issue at that point. And it became aware that she was a probation officer. He just didn't announce it, and that's why he had the gun. So there was a bit of knowledge within his statement that was the issue.
And,
yes, sir.
And I think the case law is pretty clear that I gave you. Not to announce does not allow you to go to the side door, to the side yard, to the backyard. They can go to the front door, knock on the door, and they can do a knock and talk. But they cannot do it on the side door. It's clear. I mean, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I think I can read and say that that's one issue that's already been settled in Florida a long time ago, that you cannot go to a side door because there's a right of privacy there and do a knock and announce. And just because the officers did that night, 2 rights don't make a wrong, or wrong don't make a right. Okay, they were there to talk to Mr. Gatewood. I mean, they based what they did based on what was told to them. Okay, and I can tell you, if they went to that side door and they found drugs or seen drugs on his porch or his house or something like that.
We're going to back up just a little bit, but I'm also capturing.
The fact they did it.
I'm also capturing that. She didn't testify much longer. Let's go back.
What role do you have as a sergeant?
There was another witness here. We're backing up.
Ready. Thank you, sir. If you will have a seat, adjust the microphone so that we can hear you clearly. The lawyers will have questions for you, beginning with Ms. Ford.
Can you introduce yourself to the jury?
Sergeant Anderson, Washington County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been employed there?
A little over 5 years.
And are you a deputy sheriff?
Deputy Sheriff Sergeant now.
Sergeant now. And what role do you have as a sergeant?
Just supervise patrol deputies doing their duties for the day and proving times and leaves and stuff like that and reports.
On October 21st, 2024, were you a deputy sheriff on patrol?
Just patrol deputy.
Yep, patrol deputy. Can you explain for the jury what a patrol deputy is?
Just a regular law enforcement officer answers calls for service, whether it be law enforcement needed or a civil issue or something of that nature.
Were you called to investigate an incident involving Tammy Marshall?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us how you got involved in that investigation?
Dispatch always receives all the calls. We was dispatched to 1754 Salem Drive in reference to a suspicious incident where probation officer, Miss Marshall, called and stated that she went to check on a probationer and she went to 1754, I believe, and went to check on an address there. That house wasn't sure that was the address. And whenever she knocked on the door and all that stuff, a man came out and pulled a gun on her.
Where did you respond to first?
Tom Thumb and Walsall.
And who did you make contact with?
Miss Marshall.
And you learned that Tammy Marshall was the probation officer?
Correct.
And she told you about what had occurred that evening?
Yes.
Did you take a statement from her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. After speaking with her, did you take a photograph of her uniform or what she was wearing?
I did, yes.
Why did you do that?
Just to prove that she was dressed in a probation officer uniform or apparel.
How did Miss Marshall seem when you were talking to her?
She seemed very upset.
Was it clear to you she had gone to the wrong address?
Yes.
Was it clear to her that she had gone to the wrong address?
After everything was said and done, yes, it was very clear.
All right. So you take a statement from her. You take a photograph of her. What do you do next?
After we get the statement and photographs and everything, we go and try to make contact with a person matching or person she described at that address. And
does she get you to the right address? Is it the right address she gives you?
Yes.
Okay. So how do you approach the house?
We pull in the driveway and believe we went to the side door that was next to the small garage and carport.
What do you do?
Ma'am?
What do you do once you get to the side door?
Just knock on the door to try and make contact with someone.
Did you make contact with anyone?
I did.
And who did you make contact with?
Mr. David Gatewood.
Okay. And did you tell him why you were there?
Yes.
Did he admit that the probation officer was there that night?
Yes.
What did he say had occurred?
He advised that he had someone beat on the doors or knock on the doors, and then went from one door to the next door, and he wasn't sure who it was, and they come out and pointed a gun at her or at the person.
So did he say he pointed a gun at the person?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Did you ask about the firearm?
I did.
Did he show you the firearm?
Yes.
What did you do with the firearm?
Took it cleared it and took it into custody, and we put it in evidence at the end of everything, photographed it.
Okay. Were there ammunition in the firearm that he showed you?
I believe so, yes.
And did you take a photograph of the firearm?
Yes.
At this time, the state, did you provide us a photograph of the firearm?
Yes.
And does it fairly and accurately depict the firearm that you took from the defendant that night?
Yes.
At this time, the state will move to case number 3.
Any objection?
No objection.
Number 3 will be received and you may publish.
Megan has to log in again. That duo. Okay, here's a picture. Oh, silver and black.
Is this the photograph of the firearm you
Looks
took?
like a Smith and Wesson.
Okay. Did you send this photograph to Ms. Marshall to identify?
I believe so. I'm not 100% on remembering that.
Okay. So you take the firearm and you speak to Mr. Gatewood. What do you do after that?
I do believe I took a picture of Mr. Gatewood and sent it to Miss Marshall to see if that was indeed the person she described.
All right. And did she identify Mr. Gatewood as the man who pulled the gun on her?
Yes.
What was the lighting conditions like when you went to go see Mr. Gatewood that evening?
It was dark whenever I went to see him.
Okay.
The handle's black, the top's silver. It's got a rubberized grip.
So as part of your investigation, did you interview everyone involved?
Little
Or
snub
speak to
nose.
everyone involved?
Yes, as far as I knew.
And it was just 2 people, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And did you compare their statements?
Yes.
And what part of their statements aligned?
Basically, they both said that she had knocked on the doors. She had knocked on the doors and went back and forth. And then whenever she came back, or at some point in time, they met, and Mr. Gatewood had pulled a gun and pointed at her in the face.
Did Ms. Marshall ever tell you that she attempted to threaten Mr. Gatewood?
No.
Were you concerned that she was causing issues at that house that evening for him to pull a gun on her?
No.
According to Mr. Gatewood, did he tell you that she was threatening him?
No.
Based upon everything you learned during your investigation, did you make an arrest?
Yes.
And who did you arrest?
Mr. Gatewood.
Okay. And do you see him here today?
Yes.
And what color shirt is he wearing?
Gray shirt.
And did you arrest him at his home?
Correct, yes.
And was that home located in Washington County?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions.
Ms. Atkinson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Deputy Anderson. Thank you for being here today, sir. I'll try and be brief. Sir, would you agree that there's a difference between holding a gun, brandishing a gun, and then pointing the gun at somebody? Would you agree there's a difference between that?
Yes, sir.
Because you can hold a gun and not actually be pointing at somebody.
Correct.
You can be in a ready position.
Correct.
And is that the type of stuff they train you in law enforcement?
Yes, sir. Low ready.
Okay. Now, isn't it correct that Tammy Marshall had told you that she had knocked on the side door first?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then she came to the front door, back to the side door, right?
Yes, sir.
And at any point in time, do you recall that there was anybody who may have mentioned that there was somebody looking through windows?
I believe there was a mention of that.
Okay. And that was somebody from the outside looking in, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, after you got done talking with Ms. Marshall, how hard was it to find Mr. Gatewood's residence?
It wasn't hard. She described it pretty accurately.
You went right to it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And whenever you had gotten a statement from Mr. Gatewood, isn't it correct, sir, that Mr. Gatewood told you that that Tammy Marshall never identified herself, correct?
Correct.
And isn't it correct, sir, that at that point in time, Mr. Gatewood had told you, I'm sorry, scratch. Isn't it correct that Mr. Gatewood had said that he never saw any insignia on Mrs. Marshall?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. And by insignia, we're talking about the probation badge and everything else, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you recall giving a deposition on April 10th of 2025?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you recall that you had said that Mr. Gatewood had told you that he had pulled or brandished the gun while Tammy Marshall was on his property?
I believe so.
You believe that you said that Mr. Gatewood said he pulled or brandished
yes,
the
sir.
gun? Okay. All right. And it was dark. You may
yes,
that. It was late.
Yes, sir.
And we're in the middle of Sunny Hills.
Hmm.
It's not really densely populated. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall how many different addresses Mrs. Marshall had given you that night?
As far as I'm concerned, it was just the one.
Just the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Yes, sir.
And sir, you recall on the stand that you had the address that you were given was 1754?
I believe so.
Okay. And we saw a picture of the gun earlier. That's a silver gun, correct?
Yes.
That's not a black gun.
Correct.
Okay.
She said it was black. She wouldn't have been able to see the grip because.
And you may mention earlier, I think that you said Mr. Gatewood had said that Miss Marshall had beat or not, right? Isn't it correct, sir, that Mr. Gatewood actually told you that Miss Marshall was beating on his door?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
Okay, not knocking.
Great.
Is that right?
I mean, from a police officer point of view, beating on the door, knocking on the door, we like to knock loud enough that everybody in the house can hear it.
Okay.
So it could be taken as from a civilian as a beating, yes.
Okay. So a police knock is different from a civilian knock?
Most likely, yes.
Okay. That's all pros I have.
All right, thank you. Can you redirect?
What's the difference between pulled, brandished, and pointed when we're talking about firearms?
It can be taken in different ways. For me, pulling is basically you have it in a holster or you pull it where it can be seen and you have it kind of low.
Okay.
Brandish, it could be just shown. It could be in your belt. It could be on your side. It could say, hey, I have a gun. And it just be shown. Pointing is you got it in your hand and it is pointed at some person.
Did your report reflect that the defendant said he pointed the gun?
Yes.
Did he ever tell you he pointed at the ground, the gun at the ground?
No.
Would that be significant to you if he had?
Yes.
Did she ever tell you he pointed the gun toward the ground?
No.
Have you ever gone to the wrong address as a law enforcement officer?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions.
Sergeant, and if there's no other questions, thank you for your testimony. May he be released from his subpoena, counsel?
Yes, you may.
All right, you're free to go about your day. You can stay here with us. It's up to you. Thank you. Ms. Ford, any other witnesses?
The state would call Ayden Tate.
It's the other police officer. We're on 1.25 speed trying to catch up. Still on verdict watch in the 252nd District Court. Not sure what's happened there. Seemed like an easy one, but.
Good morning, sir. Doing well. If you'll take the witness stand, remain standing and raise your right hand as the clerk administers your oath.
Remain standing.
Do you swear affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Series of instructions are
Can
difficult,
you
just
adjust
like
the
on a
microphone so
roadside
that we can hear
test.
you clearly? Deputy, the lawyers will have questions for you, beginning with Ms. Ford.
Can you state your name for the jury?
Ayden Tate.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a deputy sheriff with the Washington County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you worked there?
4 years.
On October 21st, 2024, were you working with the Washington County Sheriff's Office?
I was.
And what was your role with them?
I was a deputy sheriff. Respond to routine calls, calls for service, conduct H patrols and traffic stops.
Would you be considered a patrol deputy?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you with Deputy Jeremy Anderson dispatched to, I think, the Wausau Tom Dunn?
I was.
And what was your understanding you were investigating when you went there?
A suspicious incident at the time.
Did you meet with Officer Tammy Marshall, a probation officer?
Yes, ma'am.
How did she appear to you?
A little distraught.
And did she tell you what had occurred?
I was present whenever she was speaking to Sergeant Anderson. He was the primary officer on the call. I was just back up.
Okay, so you heard her give a statement?
Yes, ma'am.
And then did you watch Mr. Anderson take photos of her?
I did.
After he took her statement and took photos of her, what did you guys do next?
We both responded to the address off the Salem Drive to make contact with the person that she had described to us. That had,
Yeah, where did you knock?
we knocked on the side door, I believe, is what she said.
And did he come out voluntarily?
He did.
And did you tell him what you were there investigating?
After he asked just now.
Okay. And what did he tell you about what had occurred?
He had stated that somebody had knocked on his door. He made a spontaneous utterance to Sergeant Anderson. That's what I believe what happened was he stated that he came outside with a gun and pointed it in Miss Marshall's face.
And he used the word pointed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did he offer up the firearm that he used?
He told us where it was at. Then we went inside the residence with him. I can't remember if it was, I don't think he was handcuffed at the time. He was just going to show us the gun. So once we went inside, it was in a drawer, and Deputy Anderson at the time, but Sergeant Anderson collected the firearm for evidence.
Was the firearm loaded?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you present when Mr. Gatewood was placed under arrest?
I was.
No further questions.
Mr. Kerry Axon.
Did you record Mr. Gatewood's statement?
I believe Sergeant Anderson did. He was the primary officer.
So we should have that recorded statement here today if y'all made it?
We should.
Okay. All right. And so you're saying on that recorded statement, it says that he pointed a gun in her face as a spontaneous utterance?
Well, the spontaneous utterance wouldn't have been recorded. That was a sworn statement. Spontaneous utterance is usually something that individuals say prior to.
I know what spontaneous utterance is.
Correct.
My question though to you is, as a law enforcement officer, you should record those statements, correct? Whenever, however you said it, you should record the statements, right?
Right. Okay. We're not going to have a tape recorder.
And you was there the whole time whenever Deputy Anderson was talking to Mr. Gatewood?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm talking to the wife at some point in time too.
So did you, and you know, Deputy Anderson's already come and testified today. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would it surprise you that he actually said, Mr. Gatewood said he either brandished it or pulled the gun? Did you hear that when he said that?
Brandished.
One moment, I'll sustain the objection as to what Deputy Anderson testified to.
Did you hear Mr. Gatewood? And I know we don't have a recording here so the jury can hear it. Did you ever hear Mr. Gatewood, when he's talking to Mr. Gatewood, did Mr. Gatewood say, I pulled the gun or I brandished the gun?
Pointed.
Did you ever hear, answer my question, did you ever hear him say, I brandished the gun or I pulled the gun? Not pointed it.
That exact statement, no. That exact statement, no.
Okay. So if somebody come in here and said that he did say that, that's inconsistent. Would you agree with that?
This also happened 2 years ago. I'm going off of basically what I can remember. Now he might have said that after the fact.
Okay.
Did
you do a report?
It was Sergeant Anderson's case.
I'm asking you, did you do a report?
There was already a report.
Did you review any body cam before you came here today?
There was no body cam at that point in time.
Okay. Did you accrue any recordings you talked about here today?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you review any evidence before you came here?
I did.
You did? What did you review?
The report by Sergeant Anderson.
Complaint from Sergeant Anderson?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now you do, your experience, how long have you been working with law enforcement?
4 years.
Okay. And you do understand it's important to be prepared for trial, correct?
Correct.
So that cases do take a long time to get through the system, so you can recall what actually was said between a defendant and or a victim during this time, correct?
Correct.
Okay. In your testimony, you never heard David Gatewood say, I brandished it or pulled it, or did he say that and you just don't remember?
To what I can remember, I can only remember the pointed part.
Okay. And you do know that, I mean, do you agree that there's a difference between brandishing, pulling, and pointing a gun at somebody?
Most definitely.
Okay. Brandishing is basically showing somebody a gun.
Correct.
Okay. Pulling a gun may be just taking it out of a holster and keeping it in the ready position. Correct?
Right.
Okay. Pointing a gun at somebody is actually, pointing in the face, right?
Correct.
Defense is in great shape in this case.
When you said that I think it's your word, and correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Marshall was a little distraught. I think that's what your words.
Correct.
Okay. Was she laughing?
Once again, I was 2 years ago. I don't remember if she was laughing after the fact or not, but you could obviously tell that there was an incident that occurred.
But laughing and being distraught is two different things.
Correct.
Okay.
Was it 2 years ago or 1 year ago? Because Marshall said 1 year. This officer says 2.
And so y'all went to the side door, I guess, like Miss Marshall did, correct?
We did.
Did you see any numbers on the mailbox or the door, or did you look for it?
I think we went off of the description that she gave of the house.
And you were able to, I mean, you found the house pretty easy.
Police officer's description.
Okay. Did you use GPS or anything like that, or you just?
We went to Salem Drive and looked for the house description.
So anybody could have done that.
Correct.
Right? And so you had to have some indication that is the house in order for you to go to that house, correct?
Right.
And you weren't mistaken going to Mr. Gatewood's house. You went exactly where he was supposed to go, correct?
Based off of the description she gave.
Yes, sir.
Brick, stucco. What was the description? How long's the driveway?
Thank you. Ms. Ford, any redirect?
Just briefly. I want to be very clear. What word did David Gatewood use when you were present at the house?
Pointed.
Now, if Jeremy Anderson said in a deposition that he brandished it or pulled it, would those be David Gatewood's words?
Yes, ma'am.
And why would they be David Gatewood's words?
They would be possibly taken off of the tape statement that he collected. The spontaneous utterance came from the pointed.
Oh, so let's focus on only what you heard.
Okay.
You heard him say pointed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if Deputy Anderson said in a deposition he brandished or pulled, would those be Deputy Anderson's words?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the objection?
Speculation as to who's saying what.
I'll rephrase the question.
Did you ever hear David Gatewood say brandished or pulled?
No, ma'am.
And as part of your investigation with Deputy Anderson, give me a percentage, how clear was it that the probation officer went to the wrong house?
Very clear.
Would it be 100% clear that you went to the wrong house?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions.
All righty. Thank you, Deputy Tate.
Thank you.
All right, it's time to say rest.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the state has rested its case. There are some matters I need to take up outside of your presence. So at this time, I'm going to ask that you return to the jury room, and I'll let you know where we go from there. We'll all stand as you exit the courtroom.
Let's see if they do a judgment of acquittal here. I don't think they will because there's some evidence that can point to a conviction, even though it all conflicts with each other. You got 3 law enforcement.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Witnesses.
The jury has left the courtroom. The state has rested its case. Mr. Atkinson.
Judge, at this point, time we'd ask for judgment of acquittal. The issues, I don't think state's through the final face of case at this point in time, taking the best light of the state. The main issue we're having, one of the elements that the state has to prove is whether she was in the lawful execution of her duties. The case law is pretty clear that when a law enforcement officer, and in this case a probation officer, goes to a side door, that is a protected area. That is, they can't do that. They go to the front door, okay, and knock on the door to do a knock and announce, but they cannot go to the side door. She went to the side door, okay, which was illegal from the beginning, okay? And I know this ain't a suppression issue, but if she is, violating the law by going to that side door, violating what's required of the Constitution, and she's outside the scope of her employment. She's not lawfully involved or executing her duties at that point in time. And that's the element. I've got several cases on this, Judge, and one of them is, and then prepare for everybody, I'm sorry, but it's Taylor v. State. And this is actually first DCA case, 747 2nd 89.
There's a copy for you, man.
This is a case of where this is a case where the man was charged with aggravated battery or battery on law enforcement officer, which made it felony. The officer went there for a noise complaint. The officer had been there once before. He came back and said, why did you turn your radio back up? He said, well, why did you turn it down like we told you to? He said, I did. The officer goes into his house, okay, and then he violates the right to privacy. And because he violated his right to privacy at that point in time, without consent of entering the house, without search warrant entering the house, okay, and not even probable cause at this point in time, all he was talking about was noise complaint, then he's in a protected area, and he should be, the court said it should have been a direct verdict should be granted. And the conviction for aggravated battery, I understand it's a different charge, but the same element has to be proven in an aggravated assault. Has to be required proof that the officer engaged in.
We're skipping forward because we heard some of this argument as well. He makes the argument that it wasn't appropriate. She wasn't in the right place.
Drugs on his porch or his house or something like that, then certainly that's.
She wasn't in the right place. She wasn't doing what she was supposed to.
Did we draw, pulled, pointed the gun? Was she in the performance at that lawful performance of her duty at that time? Because she left the front door and they met.
Right.
How should I take that testimony?
I think that it's just like any analysis you would of fruit of poisonous tree. Was there a temporal break in her violation of the law when she came back from the front door? And there was not. I mean, if she would have knocked on the side door, okay, left, right, and came back 3 days later and knocked on the front door, then there's no taint at that point in time. It is dissipated, okay? But when she, immediately goes from the side door to the front door, okay, and she still has violated his constitutional rights by going to the side door, and therefore that taint has not been dissipated. She still violated the law. So she's not in the execution duty.
So your argument is a good argument. I'm happy to take a look at this. Is that simply because she knocked on the side door at any time that night, if she would have been on his property, she could have been walking back to her car and it would have been lawful for him to pull a gun on her because initially she knocked on the side door, not the front door. She could have been leaving his driveway. He could have walked out and put a gun on her and it would have been lawful because she knocked on the side door first. If
she was leaving, the trespass has stopped.
Okay.
Yeah. And if she would have left, again, we wouldn't be here today, okay? But she wasn't, okay? She went from the side door to the front door and she came back. I'm not sure. There was testimony. She went back to the side door, or maybe just met. My understanding was they just kind of met.
According to testimony, they met.
If she was leaving, then no, he could not, as she's leaving because the threat has passed, in this case, trespass, he could not pull the gun on her and do anything like that if she's leaving because, again, there's no reason to do that, but that's not what happened.
All right. So I'm trying to understand your argument. So at any point before she leaves, it's lawful to pull a gun or draw a gun or point, whatever happened because she knocked on the side door first.
It's lawful for him to use non-deadly
force. Okay. Right. I'll take your argument under advisement. All right. Any witnesses, defense witnesses other than your client?
Listen, we talked to Mr. Gatewood just for a second.
Absolutely.
We probably haven't went to a policy with him yet about what.
Yes, sir.
This case is moving a bit faster than I thought.
Yes, it is.
Case is moving quick. So they go out and talk to their client, and then they come back in. I'm going to slow it down just a bit because.
We had talked to Mr. Gatewood about testifying or not testifying. I told him that you would go ahead and engage in a colloquy with him about that, and he's prepared for that.
All right, Mr. Gatewood, you raise your right hand for us. You solemnly swear upon the testimony you give with the truth, so help you God.
I do.
The state is, you can put your hand down, sir. The state has now rested its case. I've turned to the defense. You do have a constitutional right to testify. You also have a right not to testify. The decision is yours and yours alone. You have two excellent attorneys who are representing you. They can give you advice, let you know what will happen if you testify, what will happen in the instructions the court will give if you decide not to testify. But generally, not generally, all the time, the decision is your own. Have you made a decision whether or not you want to testify in this case?
I wish to testify.
Has anyone threatened you, coerced you in any way to get you to make that decision?
They have not.
You understand you have the right to remain silent?
I do.
And I will instruct the jury that they cannot consider your decision not to testify in any way in reaching their verdict. You understand that?
I understand.
If you decide to testify, I will simply instruct the jury that they are to treat you like any other witness. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And do we have any criminal history? Or certified copies of any convictions, impeachable convictions? Yeah. All right. One of the things, what I was asking about, if the state or your attorneys have certified copies of convictions, they'll be able to ask you if you've ever been convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor involving dishonesty. And it sounds like they don't have any of that. So your decision is to testify?
I do.
All right. So counsel, it's 11:20. I'm not sure how long Mr. Gatewood's testimony would be. Do you want to go ahead and put him on the stand, or do we want to take a lunch break and come back?
Put him on the stand.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Gatewood. You have a seat next to counsel. We'll bring the jury back in and turn to the defense.
Judy says, what are we coming to if what door you knock on is legal or not? Remember the Aaron Dean case? That was a police officer responding to a suspicious circumstance, open house, possible burglary. He got convicted because he went into the backyard. Where they go is actually important. And there's case law in Florida that the side door is not okay. It's like it's a partial invasion of privacy, and it crosses a line. So it sounds ridiculous.
Please be seated.
But the line's there for a reason.
The state having rested its case, I'll turn to the defense. Any witnesses?
Yes, Judge, we'll review all motions and we're promised.
Hey, Your Honor, I'd like to go ahead and do my opening statement at this point.
Okay, yes, you reserved on your opening statement.
Okay,
So
opening
at this time,
statement from
Mr.
defense.
Atkinson, if you wish to present your opening statement.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've had an opportunity to hear the witnesses that the state has called, and they've now rested their case. What you're about to hear is Mr. Gatewood's side of the story. And what I believe that you're about to hear is you're going to hear not only what kind of sort of makes sense, but it's what we would call common sense. What I believe that you're going to find is that Mr. Gatewood was alone in his home that night, and it was dark. He was watching TV about 8 or 9 o'clock at night on October 21st, 2024. This was the fall. It gets darker. Mr. Gatewood was getting settled in. He was getting ready for bed. And then he hears a loud slapping on his door. As a matter of fact, the slapping was so loud that Mr. Gatewood could hear the slapping over the volume of his TV without his hearing aids in. And the slapping didn't occur on his front door, not where all the salesmen would be. It occurred on his side door. Startled by the slapping, Mr. Gatewood decided that he needed to have protection that night. That's exactly what he did. Being a military veteran, he has experience with firearms. He stepped outside to see who was out the door, and the picture that he saw was nobody was there. What he saw was a broken down gray truck, whether that be Chevy Silverado or Ford F-150, with a busted out headlight. Once he came outside, he took approximately 3 steps in order to get to the back of the vehicle that was in his driveway, the pickup truck, and also the corner of his home. Once he made those 3 steps, he was confronted by Mrs. Tammy Marshall. In the late hour, Mr. Gatewood's vision was obscured. And there's only one light source I think you're going to find. That light source is across the street to the back of Tammy Marshall. It's casting a silhouette to where Mr. Gatewood has no idea who he's looking at. He's only seeing a dark, shadowy figure. Now, initially, Mr. Gatewood is at the ready position. Tammy Marshall announces at that point in time that she's law enforcement, and they engage in conversation. At no point in time did Mr. Gatewood point the gun. At no point in time did Mr. Gatewood cock the hammer after he was supposedly found out that she was law enforcement. And at no point in time did Mr. Gatewood do any movements that would make Tammy Marshall feel threatened. Matter of fact, after he found out, he turned around, he went to his home, he put the gun away. But before he did that, he tried to help her find directions as to where she needed to go because she was lost. I think that's obvious. She came up here, she testified, she gave so many different addresses. And Mr. Gatewood was helping her. Now, once he put the firearm away, he came back outside and she was gone. Didn't see her 9, 10 feet from where he had left or where she had left from. And so he went back inside and was finished getting ready for bed. There was never any point in time where Tammy Marshall was pleading for her life, backing away from Mr. Gatewood, or even turned around. Matter of fact, I believe what you're going to hear is Mr. Gatewood talked about the positioning of her vehicle was right beside the side door, which maybe that's the reason, that's why she knocked on it in the first place, because it was the closest one there. And once Mr. Gatewood had engaged her, that was the end of it. There was no threat. There was no danger. Tammy Marshall came there. She got lost. He helped her out. And then Mr. Gatewood left and she left. And then, based on what you've heard today, the police showed up. And that's when Mr. Gatewood gave his statement, not that he pointed the gun, but that he brandished the firearm in a ready position not to threaten anybody. And I believe that we're asking for the jury to come back with a not guilty verdict based on not only what Mr. Gatewood's testimony, but what makes sense, what makes common sense. Not that Tammy Marshall told him it's law enforcement and then he pulls the hammer back and says, I don't care. The fact that you're law enforcement, that gives me a better opportunity. That didn't happen. So that's what Tammy Marshall wants you to believe. So I implore you to listen to Mr. Gatewood. listen to his testimony, and at the end of his testimony, we'd ask you to come back with a not guilty verdict. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Atkinson, call your first witness.
David Gatewood.
Okay, witness takes the stand.
Mr. Gatewood, you remain standing. Raise your right hand. The clerk will administer your oath.
I do.
Ready. Thank you, sir. If you'll have a seat, adjust the microphone. The lawyers will have questions for you, beginning with Mr. Atkinson.
Thank you. State your name, please, sir.
David Gatewood.
And where do you live?
1745. Water.
Can you describe your home for the jury?
It's a small block building, stucco.
How many bedrooms?
Two.
2 bedrooms?
2 bedroom, 1 bath.
Okay, all right. And that is 1745 Salem Drive, correct?
That is correct.
Is it a brick house?
Is not.
Okay, all right. And were you living there on October 21st, 2024?
I was.
Okay. And on October the 21st, 2024, who resided in the home with you?
My spouse.
Okay, what's her name?
Patsy Hutchins at Gatewood.
Okay. Now, what do you do for work?
I'm retired.
Okay. Where are you retired from?
I served 20 years in the United States Air Force, and then I served another 23 years in the civilian sector.
Okay, all right. In the Air Force, what was your job title?
I was in civil engineering. I was in construction.
Okay. And what rank did you retire out at?
I retired E7, Master Sergeant.
I'll allow some background information.
And I'm going to move on pretty
Okay.
And during your time with the Air Force, I mean, you were trained on weapons, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And your training, just generally speaking, what did it consist of?
Could you repeat, sir?
I'm sorry. During your training in the Air Force, you'd probably have to train every year, something going on with firearms every year. Maybe
Yes, sir. We have to qualify yearly.
Okay. And that was consistent of training how to shoot, how to be safe, and things like that, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. On October the 21st, 2024, did you know a person by the name of Kenneth Larson?
I did not.
Okay. And obviously, if you didn't know him, he's not residing at your home at 1745 Salem Drive, is he?
Obviously not.
Okay. All right. And were you on state probation on October 21st, 2024?
I was not and have never been.
Okay. And again, obviously, if you were not on probation, you was not being supervised by Tammy Marshall.
That is correct.
Was there anybody, and I guess it's just your wife, was anybody who resided in the home on any type of state probation?
No.
Okay. Again, same question. So if there's nobody on probation that resided in your home, Tammy Marshall was not going to be supervising, correct?
That is correct.
Did you know Tammy Marshall prior to October 21st, 2024?
No, I did not.
Had you ever met her before this day?
No.
Okay. And did you give Miss Tammy Marshall permission to be at your home, specifically in your carport or the front door, on October the 21st, 2024?
No, I did not.
Okay. Now, at your home, can you kind of tell the jury, just to describe where the doors are located at?
I have a front door, a side door, and a back door. My home is catty corner on the corner of the street.
Okay. All right. And do you have a carport?
I do.
Okay. Can you describe for the jury what that carport consists of?
It's a small carport, one vehicle. It's on the side of the house, directly in front of the side door.
Okay. All right. And so does the carport kind of, it's a standalone building, is that correct?
That is correct.
It's like one of those steel tower carport.
Yes, sir.
You buy up here on Highway 77, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rent to own is a lot of times how we do it, right? You may probably play it all the time. Okay, so basically it's not attached to the house, but it's by the side door. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a 911 address at your house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how is that designated on your house, your 911 address?
I have numbers on next to the front door and on the mailbox.
Okay, and that number is 1745?
Yes, sir.
And did you have the numbers on the house at 1745 on October 24th, 2024?
Yes, sir.
Did you have it on your mailbox, the numbers 1745 on
yes, sir.
21st, 2020? You did, right?
I did.
Okay. And why do you have numbers on your mailbox in your house?
I see the commercial on TV all the time. It's required by law.
Okay. Required by county ordinance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so people want to be able to find you, like law enforcement did this night.
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you don't mind, in general, start with the side door and kind of tell us the area and then going all the way to the front door, what it looks like in there.
All right, it's a small 1,000 square foot home, caddy corner on the corner of the street. The carport is on the side and it ends right where the side door is. And if you're at the side door, you cannot see the front door. It's because the corner of the house is there.
Okay.
And
is there bushes there too?
There's a bush right there between the, right off the side of the house, right off the corner of the house.
How far would you say that your driveway comes off Salem Drive?
40 feet.
40 feet? Okay. All right. Okay. So and so you can't see the front door from the side door, is that
correct?
Okay. All right. And where do you normally park? Do you have any vehicles, motor vehicles?
My vehicle was parked under the carport.
Okay. And what kind of vehicle was that?
That's a Honda pickup.
Okay. All right. Was there any other vehicles there before Ms. Marshall got there?
No.
Okay. All right. Do you have any medical issues?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you wear, or do you have hard of hearing though?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you have any aids to help you with that?
I do have hearing aids issued to me by the Air Force.
Okay. All right. And does that help you with your hearing?
It does, and I forgot them today, so I'm having a hard time.
I noticed that one. You had to ask me again. Okay. So basically, you do have hearing aids.
Yes, sir.
And when do you wear your hearing aids all the time, or just?
No, sir. I would wear them on an occasion like this, maybe going to church, but no, I don't wear them around the house. They're not comfortable.
Okay. I want to talk to you specifically about what happened on October 21st, 2024. Okay. Early evening, 7:45, 8:30. Tell us what you're doing.
I'm watching TV.
Okay. And there's nobody there with you, or is anybody there with you?
I'm by myself.
Okay. And so your wife had gone shopping or eat or something like that?
That's correct.
Okay. And so you're watching TV. I'm assuming you have a recliner, or just a regular chair, or how would you?
I'm sitting on the couch.
Okay. All right. Just relax, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And had you had any calls or somebody was looking for your house or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So tell the jury does something happen that draws your attention to the side door?
All right, there's a loud slapping at the side door. And I say loud because I'm already hearing. I got the TV turned up, and there's a wall between the side door and where I'm sitting. So, yeah, it's very loud.
Can you show the jury using the box there? You demonstrate what it sounded like?
It was like
I didn't want to hit me.
I would say a slap, not a knock.
Okay, right. A police slap. Loud enough to try and get your attention.
Yes, sir.
Now, did you hear anybody say anything?
No, sir.
During the slap. Okay. All right. All right. So after you hear that slap, tell us kind of what's going through your mind at that point in time.
I'm wondering what's going on. There shouldn't be anybody at my house at this time of night.
Okay. And you're not giving anybody any permission to be there at that time of night?
I had not.
Okay. And can you kind of describe the area where your house is located at? Is it rural? Is it a lot of houses?
It's a few houses there, but there's woods behind me and onto the side of me.
Okay. What's the lighting like out there? You have as far as your house goes?
There's a street light across the road on the corner of the street.
Okay. Does that street light provide good illumination for your side door area or your front door area?
No illumination to the side door at all.
Okay. And how would you describe it illuminating the front door area?
It's giving a backlight to the front door area.
Okay. So it'd be hard to see if somebody's facing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. All right. So this is around, and what Ms. Marshall said, the thing's around 8:30. Okay. Is that correct? Would that be
yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So after you heard the loud slapping, what did you do?
Okay.
I retrieved my weapon and went to the door.
Okay. All right.
I looked out the door.
Right,
no one was there.
What kind of weapon did you have?
It's a revolver, a 410 gauge revolver.
Okay. Was it the silver gun that they showed here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. With the black handle?
Yes, sir.
It wasn't black and silver. It wasn't a black gun with silver handles, was it?
No, sir.
Okay. All right.
Silver weapon with a black handle.
Okay. All right. And did you load it or already loaded?
It was already loaded.
Okay. All right. So when you go to the side door, how are you carrying your weapon?
Okay, we need to pause right here for just a second.
present. I have received a message that the jury's reached a verdict. If you could please bring the jury.
We have a verdict. We have a verdict in the Texas trial. The case of the red Cadillac shooting, stolen gun, drug deal gone bad, stick-up man case. We have a verdict. The jury's coming in. Forgetting we've got so many different cases going right now. Different yet the same. Defendant's present, prosecutor's present, defense attorney is present. We're just waiting for the jury to come in with the verdict. They'll come in right there off screen. We barely see them. Deliberation time. They went till about 8 o'clock last night. And then a couple hours this morning. Don't know exactly how many, so possibly 8 hours of deliberation.
All right, let the record reflect the jury is seated. State's attorney's present, defendant, defense counsel are present. At this time, I would ask the foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes.
And is it the unanimous decision of all of the members of the jury?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You can hand it to the bailiff. Mr. Freeman. We, the jury, find the defendant, Joseph Charles Freeman, guilty of murder as charged in the indictment. You can have a seat. Does either party wish to have the jury polled?
State does not. No, Your Honor.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I accept and receive your verdict finding the defendant guilty of the offense of murder. And what that means is that that first phase of the trial is over. We'll move to the second phase, which is the punishment phase. It's 5 minutes to 12. You guys have been working all morning. Also, we're going to take just a little lunch break, maybe a little bit longer one, so that we can have the attorneys get ready for the punishment phase. We'll also work on that court's charge, so it'll be ready at the right time. You get another one of those in the punishment phase. You're still under all of the instructions that you were previously given. I think I'd like to get started at 1:30. So that gives you about an hour and a half, and we'll stay and get some work done. Mr. Coleman, Mr. Radford, any objections to me releasing the alternate at this time?
No, sir.
All right.
No, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna step away from that for just a minute because we have to go back to the other one. But clearly, they're going to a punishment phase. Let's see, what was the other courtroom we were in? Florida, right here. Boom. Hold up. We were right back here, about 18 minutes back. There we go. Right about here. Okay, we're back.
Side door.
There was no one out there. There was a silver pickup parked in my driveway almost to the carport.
Okay. Well, let's talk about, I want to ask you one question, okay, and then I'll keep going. But when you came to the door, was there somebody there immediately that you went to the door and pulled the gun on?
There was not.
Okay. All right. So you look, you kind of scan the area, and you say you see a pickup truck. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And where is it located at in relation to your side door?
It's all the way to the edge of the carport, almost to the side door. Well, at the side door.
Okay. So it wasn't parked further down the driveway. It was closer to your house. Is that
it
right?
was.
Okay. And where was it parked in relation to your car?
It had been blocked in. It was parked directly behind me.
Okay. Did that cause you concern that a vehicle had blocked you in?
Not only that it had blocked me in, I did not recognize the vehicle. It shouldn't have been there.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk specifically about the vehicle. Can you tell the jury what the vehicle looked like?
It was an older silver pickup. It was not running, but one headlight was on and one headlight was off.
Okay. All right. And when you saw that, did that heighten your concern at that point in time?
Absolutely.
And why is
that? There shouldn't have been anybody at my house in the first place. And this was not a vehicle I recognized. This was not any kind of delivery vehicle, emergency vehicle, police vehicle.
And the headlight was out?
And the headlight was out, yes.
All right. So were there any indicia on the vehicle that would indicate that this vehicle belonged to a law enforcement officer or a probation officer?
There was not.
But it had blocked you in?
That is correct.
Okay. So you go outside, I guess stay around the carport area, is that correct?
Yes.
And you're looking to see if there's somebody out there?
I'm looking for whoever's in this vehicle.
Okay. All right. And you don't see them initially, is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. When you're out there looking for the person who's brought the vehicle up, how was you holding the gun?
I had the gun in front of me, both hands pointed down.
Like a ready position?
Yes, sir.
Is that what they call it in the Air Force?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. so eventually, do you kind of move off toward the front of to your front yard?
I moved down my driveway toward the back of her vehicle.
Okay. All right. And so what did you do after that?
I said hello. And
let me go back just for a second. When you said hello, had you already seen anybody, or were you just trying to
locate who was in this vehicle?
Do what?
Trying to locate the owner of the vehicle.
But you hadn't seen anybody that time?
I had not.
Okay. And that's when you were standing at the back of the vehicle that's in the driveway. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Okay. So what happens then?
I say hello, and a second after that, I see Miss Marshall.
Okay. All right. And where is she at when you see her?
She was coming from the front down the sidewalk, just past the bush, where she come in view for me.
Okay. And how far? Okay. Did you hear anybody knocking on the front door when you was outside?
I did not.
Did you hear anybody say when they're at the front door, hey, probation, parole, law enforcement, or any word that would make you think that this was law enforcement?
There was no words, no knocking.
Okay. All right. Did you expect anyone to be there at your house that late at night?
There was no reason for anyone to be at my house that late at night.
Okay. So you have your gun. You say hello, and then you finally get an acknowledgement from somebody. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And what did that person say?
When we seen each other, she threw her hands to her side and says, "I'm not them."
Okay. And had she was she still at the front door, or she'd come closer to you?
She was paralleling me from the front of the door towards the road.
Okay. All right. Parallel to you. Okay. All right. And so she says, "I'm not them." Okay. What did you do with your gun at that point in time?
That gun went immediately to my side.
Okay.
Because she had her hands out,
showing that she's not a threat.
Correct.
Okay. And then what's the conversation from there?
Then we had a conversation. She's telling me, "I'm a probation officer. I'm here looking for an individual I did not recognize." I'm explaining to her that no, the person is not here, and she ends up asking me if I knew where 1741 Salem Drive was.
Okay. And did you know? Did you tell me?
I was fairly new there, and I really did not.
Okay. And what took place to make you know or suspect that, hey, she is a probation officer? When did that occur?
She told me after she said, "I'm not them." She said, "I'm a probation officer." I think she was tugging at something around her neck.
Okay. Was it hard to see?
It was. She was backlit.
What?
She was backlit from the street light.
So you were seeing a shadow more than you were seeing anything?
Yes.
Okay. All right. But you did, when you saw a person, you put your gun close to your side, correct?
Correct.
All right. So had she moved from the front door area when she told you, I'm with probation parole?
She had moved to the point where I could see her.
Okay.
And neither one of us moved from that point on.
And why couldn't you see her before then?
The corner of the building was hiding her.
Okay. All right. Okay. And you wasn't, I'm assuming that you wasn't going out there and getting, you was being cautious as you're walking around the house at that time. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct. I wondered why was somebody at my house this late at night in a vehicle I did not recognize.
All right. So y'all engage each other. Okay. You take the gun to your side. Then what happened?
After she asked me where 1741 was, I told her I didn't know. I went back in the house and put the gun up.
Okay. And then what did you do after that?
I came back to the door, looked out, and she was gone.
Okay. All right. I know you said she was holding like saying it's bad. Did you, prior to that, had you seen her uniform prior to her coming toward you from the front door area?
I couldn't make out her uniform, no.
Okay. Now, her uniform she showed was basically khaki pants and a black shirt, correct?
Correct.
Do you know if there's any insignia on the back of her? Do you know if did you have anything on the back of her shirt that would indicate?
I did never seen the back of her.
What about when she turned around and walked away? Did he just mess up there?
Okay. After you realize when she said, "I'm a probation officer," what's your mindset at that point in time?
I was wondering why she was at my home.
Okay. But you was not concerned you didn't feel like you was being threatened at that point in time?
I did not.
when you learned that she was a probation officer.
Correct.
And how long would you say this conversation lasted between you and her?
2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. All right. So she's asking about what she's been talking about today. I don't know. I did trying to find out where this address is, correct?
Right.
Why'd you go back inside and put up the phone?
I thought we were done.
Okay. And then why'd you go back outside?
I wanted to see if she had left. She was acting kind of strange, back and forth from one door to the other. And
was she excitable like she was here today?
No.
Okay. All right.
Had a very civil conversation.
Okay. All right. Did you ever threaten her to kill her?
No, I did not threaten her, cuss her. Very civil conversation about this person is not here, and I don't know where 1741 Salem Drive is.
Okay. Did you ever point the gun at her?
The gun was never pointed at her.
Okay. It was either in a ready position or by your side. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And did law enforcement take a statement from her?
They did.
Okay. And what did you tell Deputy Anderson about how you handled the gun that night?
He never asked me how I handled the gun. He asked me if I had the gun.
Okay. Tell the jury what the conversation was about the gun.
Asked me if she had showed up there and I had went outside with a weapon.
And what you said? Yeah.
Yes, I did. I told the truth.
Okay. And did he ask anything else about the weapon other than that?
No.
Did you, and these are just stuff I got to get out to the jury, Mr. Gatewood, okay? Did you ever come to the front or to the side door, approach her at the doors, come from your inside and point a weapon at her?
No.
Okay. You wasn't even at the doors during this time. You was outside, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Did you ever threaten her with a weapon?
I did not.
Okay. Did you ever point it at her face and say, I'm going to kill you?
No.
Would you have done that after she identified herself as a probation officer?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, now you're in a different situation. You know who you're dealing with, right?
I wouldn't have done that to anybody unless they rushed me.
Okay. All right. Was there any time that if I'm out there as a spectator watching what's going on, that you believe you done something to make her think that you were going to kill her or shoot her?
In no way.
Okay. Would a spectator again, would they ever see anything to show that you pointed a gun at her?
No.
All right. So then you said you went inside, put the gun up, come back out to see if she was gone. Okay. But I want to ask you a question. So when you went inside, she was still there when you went inside, right?
Correct.
But then when you came back out, she was gone.
She had left.
Okay. And while y'all were talking and engaging each other, where's that truck you described? The one she drove up there.
I'm standing at the rear of her vehicle.
Okay. So that's closer to your carport.
Correct.
Okay. And how close to her vehicle would you say you were?
I was standing right next to it.
Okay. All right. And she was standing in front of you?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. So hypothetically speaking, okay. So we got it right. Her vehicle's behind you.
Yes, sir.
So get into the vehicle, she would have to go behind you, correct?
Have to come right straight towards me.
So she would have to walk toward you to get into her vehicle.
That is correct.
So because she's backing up, she's not going toward her vehicle. She's going away from her vehicle.
That's backing out to the street and to the woods.
Okay. All right. So did you ever see her, back up at any point in time?
No.
Okay. But hypothetically speaking, because if that's what she said happened, that she was backing up to get into her vehicle, that could not have happened because the vehicle's behind you. Right?
That is correct.
I know you said you hadn't pointed a gun at her. Did you ever cock the hammer?
I did not.
Okay. And did your military training kind of kick in during that time of what you should be doing and shouldn't be doing to a trespasser?
In the military, the safety with a weapon is utmost.
Okay. Was you intoxicated that night and not know what you was doing or anything?
I was not.
Okay. All right. And so it's clear you did not point a weapon at her.
I did not.
Okay. How would you describe how you held that weapon that night?
When I came out of the door, I didn't have a holster. I was in shorts, athletic shorts. I had a
Judge,
weapon like
may he
this.
come off the bench and show the jury? Come on out. Show the jury how you did.
I had a weapon like this.
Okay. All right. And then did you change position of the weapon at any point in time?
When she threw her hands to her side, I see her throw her hands to her side, weapon went there to here.
Okay. All right. You can have a seat. Thank you, Mr. James. Judge, that's all the questions I have.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Ms. Ford, any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Is your testimony today, the first words you heard Ms. Marshall say is, "I'm not them"?
That is correct.
What does that mean?
Well, you should ask her, not me.
But she had her arms out like this and said, "I'm not them."
That is correct.
So we listened to your testimony and you sat and heard Ms. Marshall's testimony, and your testimony is a lot different, isn't it? You'd agree with me on that?
That is correct.
You said that she slapped the door and she said that she knocked the door. Is that one difference?
Yes.
And she said that she announced probation and you're denying that. Is that correct?
I'm not denouncing she said it. I'm denouncing I heard that.
Okay. So she may have been telling the truth then. She may have said probation, you just didn't hear it, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. One thing we didn't hear from you, did you ever tell us that you looked out the window that night?
I did not look out the window that night.
Did you look out a peephole that night?
I do not have a peephole.
When you heard the slapping, did you say, "Who is it?"
I did not.
We disagree about where the vehicle was parked, right?
We do.
Okay. And Miss Marshall says she had it parked a bit further and you said it's parked closer. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do we disagree about where you two met?
No.
Okay, so she's at the front door and you're coming out the side door and you meet there. So we do agree on that, right?
Correct.
Do we disagree that she knocked on the front door?
We do.
You didn't hear her knock on the front door?
I did not.
So she came to court today and lied to us about knocking on the front door.
She did a lot of lying today.
Okay, so she went to the front door just to stand there? Is that your testimony today?
I'm not sure why she went to the front door. I'm not sure why she came to my side door.
But you're placing her at the front door today. You told
Correct.
us that she was at the front door when you saw her, right?
Okay.
So is that where she was?
It was.
Okay. Now, she didn't ring your doorbell either, is that correct?
I did not hear the doorbell ring.
So she may have rung your doorbell, you just didn't hear it.
Okay, yes.
Okay. All right. And then we have this encounter where she says, "I'm not them." She's got her arms out. Why do you think her arms were out?
Because she's seen the weapon.
Okay, so she saw the weapon. And today your testimony is that you pointed it to the ground, right?
After I've seen her arms out to the side, correct.
Okay. And the officers put in the report that you pointed the gun at her.
I never said that.
Okay, but the word "pointed" was used, is that correct?
They were her words.
A lot of words, right?
They were her words.
Her words, okay. When you see Miss Marshall, you can't tell if she's a probation officer. Is that your testimony today?
It is.
It was that dark, right?
It was.
Oh, and she went to the wrong house. We're correct on that, right?
I hope that she went to the wrong house. Maybe she was in.
House, right? On a dark night. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Now you chose to go to Miss Marshall with the gun, right? You didn't.
What was the question again?
Did you choose to go to Miss Marshall with the gun?
Did I do what?
Did you choose to go to Miss Marshall with the gun?
Shoot.
Choose.
I stepped out of my house with a weapon in my hand.
With a weapon, and that was your choice.
Yes.
You didn't ask any questions beforehand.
No.
Was the gun loaded?
Yes.
How many rounds did it have in it?
5.
Did she ever strike you?
No.
Did she ever try to push you?
No.
Did she have a weapon?
Not that I know of.
How much talking was done? What did she say beyond that?
She was identifying herself. She was telling me who she was looking for. And she was asking me if I could help her find 1741 Salem Drive.
And this was a very cordial conversation, right?
That is correct.
Were you surprised she called 911?
Yes.
Were you surprised to see the officers at your house?
Yes.
And earlier you told deputies that she hadn't identified herself, but she did identify herself. Is that correct?
When I came out the door, she had not identified herself to me.
And then the other thing we disagree on is this testimony that Ms. Marshall says she was backing up. That never happened, according to you, right?
Physically impossible.
Physically impossible.
To back into her vehicle.
All right.
All right.
No further questions.
Here's what we have.
Yes, sir.
This witness has been consistent, has not been proven to have lied about anything.
That night, were you scared? How would you describe your emotion before you saw Miss Marshall?
Before the slapping on the door?
Or after the slapping?
After the slapping, I was alarmed.
You was what?
Alarmed.
Meaning you're scared?
Yes.
Okay. All right. But you didn't know what was going on?
I did not.
And when you walked out the side door, there was nobody asked questions to.
That is correct. There was nobody there.
But you did kind of walk around, and you're protecting yourself. You're not just you're aware of your surroundings. Let's say, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you say hello.
I did.
And then that's when she comes toward you. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Now you heard her testimony about where her vehicle was parked. It's still in the driveway, correct?
It was in the driveway up to the carport.
Okay. And where she said it was parked, she said it was a little bit further behind than you're saying, it sounds like.
A lot further.
Okay. All right. But she would still have to go forward and not go backwards to go to her car, wouldn't she?
Absolutely.
Her description of where the car was, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So she could have never went backwards to get to her car. She had to go forward.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. And you may have a moment.
Yes, sir.
You might not agree with him, but from a truthfulness standpoint, the only other witness whose testimony really matters is the other eyewitness. We have two people who say they saw something differently.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Gatewood?
And
Mr. Gatewood, thank you for your testimony, sir. You can return to your chair with your attorneys.
Ms. Marshall's been impeached.
Mr. Atkinson and Mr. Atkinson, any other witnesses?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Does the defense rest this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's probably a perfect time for lunch. It's 11:56. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give you all a lunch break. Please remember, don't go to any place that's mentioned here in trial. Don't look up anything, look up any maps. Don't allow anyone to talk to you. It's 11:56. We'll be in lunch until 1:15. I have some matters I need to take up with the lawyers. So if you want to come back at 1 o'clock, we'll get started at 1:15. And we'll all stand as you exit the courtroom.
All right, they're going to stand as we exit the courtroom. We're actually going to come back to the courtroom right now because we can. Let's see. What's the...
All right, thank you. Please be seated. All right, Mr. Atkinson, anything else we need to take up?
Judge, we need to review our motions after all the evidence has been presented. Again, we don't believe that after all the evidence has come out, we believe that the state has not proven the element of that she was engaged in her lawful duty and or that Mr. Gatewood knew who she was at the time in a regular position.
Yes, sir. And I had an opportunity to take a careful look at the Taylor case and the other cases you gave me, and it appears as though the duty or the standard is at the time the assault, battery, or use of force occurred, at that point was the officer engaged in lawful performance of duty. And at the point this alleged assault occurred, she was a probation officer wearing probation shirt, a badge, in the light most favorable to the state. She alleged that she was a probation officer. She was leaving the front door on the front path. So at the time the alleged assault occurred, I'm going to find that she was in the lawful execution of her duties. And also as to the identification, I understand your client said he didn't hear, but based on the state's evidence, what she was wearing that night, probation shirt, badge, she testified that she announced that she was a probation officer. In a light most favorable to the state, I'm going to deny the motion and let the jury make this decision.
May I ask the court, can you put something about the side door issue? I think I hear what you're saying is once you went to the front door, and she's back engaged, she's engaged in her lawful duties. What effect would it be that she went to the side door to begin with, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, the case law that you gave me tells me to I need to look at the legal standing governing the duty at the time the battery, assault, or offer of violence occurred. So at the time the alleged assault occurred, she was in the lawful execution of her duty.
So my guess the question is and I'm not saying it's correct by no means, but the fact that maybe this was made just the illegality of it, the first initial contact that had not dissipated. The way you read the case law is there can be, it don't have to be a real big break, but because once the assault occurred, she was already back in her. And I'm not trying to put words.
No, I'm not. I haven't engaged in the dissipation of a taint. I haven't engaged in the Fourth Amendment analysis. I'm simply looking at the time the alleged assault occurred, what was she doing? Okay. And in the Taylor case, at the time of the battery, the officer had stepped into the home unlawfully. What we have here is that a probation officer was looking for a probationer, was leaving the front door on a front path that an implied license, anyone from the public can take that path. So at the time of the assault, I'm going to find that she was engaged in a light most favorable to the state, engaged in that, and let the jury decide. Of course, you can make that argument to the jury. As far as instructions, it's 12 o'clock now, we'll start back up at 1:15. Ms. Ford, do you have any rebuttal witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So what we'll do is when we return, I'll begin with the jury instructions. I'll stop right at rules for deliberation, allow you all to do your closing arguments, then I'll pick back up at rules for deliberation. I'll review the jury instructions, Ms. Ford. We can have our charge conference now.
Yeah,
it should be straightforward. I believe there's some things that we will have to adjust on the way in the evidence.
He gets to argue the legality of the side door issue in front of the
jury. As far as
jury.
the charge, assault on a law enforcement officer, any objection? Looks like we have 7 elements.
No, Your Honor.
Lesser included crimes, do you agree? The lesser included will be assault, assault on a law enforcement officer, and improper exhibition of a firearm, and then assault. Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Atkinson, he said those are category 1s.
I think that's what.
All right. All right, so those are necessary. I'll have to give those. Any objection to the lesser included instructions? I keep saying Mr. Atkinson. Forgive me, I'm gonna say Mr. West Atkinson.
Yeah.
Okay. Or Mr. Carey, anyone who has an objection, please let me know. But to the aggravated assault, any objection to that proposed language?
I don't have any objection to it.
Assault on a law enforcement officer?
No objection.
Improper exhibition of a firearm?
No objection.
And assault?
No objection.
Of course, the reasonable doubt instruction is standard. Weighing the evidence, 1 through 5 I will give. Looks like the give is applicable. All should come out except for the inconsistent statement. Do you all agree? 6 says, has the witness been offered or received any money, preferred treatment? Do we have any evidence of that?
No, Your Honor.
7, has had any pressure or threat been used against the witness?
No.
Take those 2 out. 8 talks about inconsistent statement. We'll leave that in, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
We don't have any evidence that a witness has been convicted of a felony or misdemeanor involving dishonesty, and we don't have any reputation evidence. So it looks like we'll read 1 through 5 and then the inconsistent statement. Law enforcement witness. And then I'll read the defendant has become a witness. I'll take out defendant not testifying. Defendant statements. We do have statements allegedly made by the defendant, so we'll leave that in. And then rules for deliberation, cautionary instruction, and verdict form.
I have no objection to that. I did submit to Mrs. Ford a jury instruction 3.6G, justifiable use or threatened use of non-deadly force. I would like that to be prior to 3.7, which I think is before all of the or after all of the lesser included offenses.
All right, so we're gonna have that after 10.5, improper exhibition of firearm, assault, and then 3.6G, unless there's some objection.
There's no objection, but then the state would like to add 3.6F, justifiable use of deadly force. And when we had our stand your ground hearing, The court ruled that while all sides agreed that the gun was not discharged, the defendant's actions of pointing the gun and then cocking the gun at Miss Marshall constituted deadly force. So the state would also like that.
Your Honor, I don't believe that the court is bound to that ruling. Of course, there's some things in that ruling that I think go in our favor as well. However, I believe that the 3.6F argument comes in as a matter of law if the court were to find in this circumstance that the use of force was deadly force as a matter of law. I don't think under the circumstances here today, we have a use of force that as a matter of law is per se deadly force. I think that it's
the threatened.
By what the law says, it's per se non-deadly force. And so I would ask for the 3.6F to be kept out.
You said in the light most favorable to the state is as a matter of law, non-deadly force? And I'm talking about what the victim testified to. Mm-hmm. You're saying that's non-deadly force as a matter of law?
Your Honor, as a matter of law, the only deadly force is the discharge of a firearm. That's per se deadly force. 3.6F is included if it is per se deadly force as a matter of law. I don't think that we have the circumstance here today.
What do we have? Do y'all have the proposed language?
The first paragraph is of the order the court ruled on Little, which is the case that deals with using a gun and whether or not that's deadly force.
Okay, yes, I've read the stand your ground order in the Little.
And I think, Judge, it really.
And then on the second page is the instruction itself.
Okay, you have 3.6F and 3.6G.
Mm-hmm.
And Judge, again, I think that as far as whether or not you give the deadly force, I don't think there's no objection to the non-deadly force from anybody, but to give the deadly force, I think you as the legal arbiter here has to make a determination. It's kind of mixed bag, based on the facts, whether or not he used that weapon in a manner that would be considered.
Yes.
And you know that. I'll just tell him that. Like what Wes says, or Mr. Wes Atkins says, it's only per se deadly force if the fire has been discharged.
Yes, sir.
That was not more eloquently than what I did. You said that more eloquently to me.
You whisper into the microphone, then we can all hear. I can't get over the fact that this probation officer told 2 or 3 completely different stories, and she's.
And the instruction 3.6F reads, to justify the threatened use of deadly force, the appearance of imminent danger must have been so real that the defendant actually believed that the threatened use of deadly force was necessary. It talks about threatened use of deadly force. I'm going to give the instruction. I'm going to find that, at least according to the victim. I know Mr. Gatewood disagrees completely with her version of the events, but she said he pointed the gun at her, pulled the trigger, had it in her face. I'm going to find that's the threatened use of deadly force. So I'm going to give 3.6F, and I'm also, Mr. Axon, going to give your instruction 3.6G. Do we have that? Do you have that?
Both of those, I can add them just in subsequent order.
And just so I'm sure and clear, you don't have any objection to 3.6G?
No objection.
All right. Any other issues with the instructions that we need to discuss?
That's all from us.
Let me find the verdict form. Any objection to the verdict form?
I have seen it. I've looked at it this morning. I have no objection. I just don't have it in front of me right now.
Yes, sir.
Tim's grandma.
Yes, sir, Mr. Axon.
Yes, we found that verdict. We're waiting for the penalty phase.
Got the verdict form. We have guilty of the charged or as charged ag assault on law enforcement officer. Lesser included ag assault. Lesser included assault. lesser included improper exhibition, lesser included assault, and then finally not guilty. All right,
A lot
perfect.
of lesser included.
That is all category one.
Yes, sir, I agree with you. All right, council, anything else? If not, please enjoy your lunch break. We'll come back at 1:50.
Come back at 150 something. 115 is what he meant to say, and I think they might actually already be back. Let's do a quick check. Wait for it. Go there, go to channel, boom. They're not back. They're not back yet. At least not that I can see. Fourteenth Circuit Court. It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime. 2:15 for all of us. Thank you for that, Georgia fan. Appreciate that. They're on that little part of Florida that has its own little time zone. I've got to say I am as solidly on the not guilty side as I've ever been on not guilty in this Florida case. This is maybe it's because I'm a big fan of stand your ground, the castle doctrines, self-defense, the right to protect your property. Big fan of that. And I think that the jury might have to look at this in the eyes of the defendant, not in the eyes of the victim. Was the defendant acting reasonably based on what he knew, what he heard, what was happening, instead of the probation officer knowing that she has the right to go to a parolee's house anytime, night or day, and knock on the door and demand can go in and search the place. She has all sorts of rights under the probation rules. So she comes in with that authority. She makes the mistake, goes to the wrong place. The defendant, we have to look at it. The jury of his peers have to look at it and say, did he act reasonably? Would the average person, in this situation, who doesn't know there's a parole officer who's coming up to the driveway, knocking on a door, and he says, I have hearing aids. I didn't hear her announce. I heard banging at the door. I went out to check the side door, and there was no one there. There's a truck with one headlight in the driveway. I'm like, hello? And there she is. And she's like, hey, I'm not them. And he puts the gun down. I think we have to believe his testimony because none of it was disproved. Zero. The fact that there were 3 witnesses that said pointed a gun does not matter because 2 of the witnesses are just telling them what the first witness now says. And I say now because initially she says that he didn't. Her story changed about that. I think there is so much reasonable doubt that this guy should walk scot-free and maybe get a badge on the way out the door. He's retired military, years of practice, trained with a firearm, proficient in the use. Yeah. There are many states where you can shoot someone just for entering your house illegally. Some of them, they don't even need to have a weapon. Some of them, if you just feel threatened and it's reasonable that you feel threatened and they're trying to break in. They're just trying. Like they're at your door pulling on the doorknob and they have an angry look on their face. There are some states where you can shoot and kill them knowing full well, aim at the head, at chest, double tap, whatever you need to. There are states where that is legal and they won't blink twice at it. And I'm just thinking, if this guy, if he's so anti-cop, get the F off my property, blah, 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 why does that not match everything else? He's an old, retired guy, a little house, a little car, retired military, no record. He conducts himself really well on the stand, very consistent. Why is there not any other indicator? Holy cow, it's dumping buckets outside. It's flooding. Like build an ark type. It's flooding outside. The sky is coming down. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Megan, maybe not. A short trial, but a good one. This was a goodie. Josh has redeemed himself. We almost forgive him for the past 2. So, great time for a doctor's appointment. Let's go to lunch, shall we? We're going to be back. Let's be back in half an hour, 40 minutes maybe. Does that work? Thank you once again, Red Pen, for the incredible thumbnail. You're doing a great job, like professional level thumbnails on this. Don't start charging me, please. Please, but you're doing a fantastic job on these thumbnails. All right, let's schedule a stream. It's going to be the wrong house trial. Verdict watch. I guess we're going to get closing arguments and then verdict watch, right? Yeah, I think we still have closing arguments, right? If they deliberate for more than half an hour, something's wrong. Let's see. Put that beautiful, beautiful thumbnail up. Coming back. I'm going to say 2:15. Well, let's do 2:10. That'll give us 5 minutes. 2:10 p.m. Done. Ah, you're making me blush. It looks good. And you'll all get to see it here because we're going to portal over to it, and you'll get to see it on the waiting screen while we eat lunch and everything else. Oops, don't make another one. Just that one. Edit. Customization. Redirect. Add a destination. Save. Okay, portal setup. So now we can go to lunch. Perfect. Gonna wash the car. Red, that's why it's raining. I don't think I've washed a car since I moved to North Carolina. I don't blame me. It's not like we have salt on our roads or anything. Like back out west, they'd salt the roads, and if you didn't wash your car by the next winter, it had rusted away. The salt just eroded it. I don't drive on the beach. I don't drive on the sand. We don't drive through salt water. A rainstorm is as good as a car wash. If you need undercarriage, you hit a puddle. Mission accomplished. So I know Thomas might take issue with that, but I have spider webs on the side mirrors. Whoa! Good grief! Lightning just struck, and it was a boom. That or somebody hit our house. All right, and the power stayed up. So hurry! Let's wrap this up before the power goes out. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again in about half an hour now. About half an hour. We'll see you guys after lunch. Have a good one. Thanks for liking the stream. 306 likes. Love it. Thank you. Bye-bye.